Sim Racing Showdown? The Drive for 500 is coming on February 14, 2026. This isn't just any race. The winner takes home this exclusive, custom-made trophy. A one-of-a-kind prize that you won't want to miss. But that's not all. Every driver who qualifies and completes at least 50% of the laps will score exclusive giveaways. So whether you're fighting for first place or just making the field, there's something for everyone. Plus, we're on a mission to hit 500 subscribers by race day. Your support powers the race, so subscribe now and help us cross that finish line.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network's production of the Dennis Puckett Big Trucking Tuesday Series. The Bonfire Racing League has come live to Auto Club Speedway for our latest installment of Dennis Puckett Big Trucking Tuesday. We're in the regular season. No win and you're in here today. It's all about accumulation of points. So all 36 drivers on the grid battling for their playoff lives. Three wide in the booth here today. Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, Smokin' Joe bringing you all the action. Boys, how we feeling tonight in sunny California?
I love this place, Mean Gene. I wish that it wasn't mostly a dirt lot now, but whenever we get to come here in Sim Racing World, it's always a fun day. This 2-mile racetrack is not for the weak. This place, very similar in shape and size to somewhere like Michigan, but very different in character. One of the oldest race surfaces back when this place was around. It's going to be loose here. Another sunny day here in California. So excited to see how these drivers deal with this crazy racetrack.
Yeah, and you're going to have 10 more drivers than you had 2 years ago. Auto Club, last time we were here for the Big Truckin' Tuesday, 2 years, and 10 last drivers. We saw Chris Smorrell take the win 2 years ago. Behind him, AJ Benish and Nate Mauer. Lots of new names now flexing their muscles here in this latest installment of Big Trucking Tuesday. Gonna see exactly how it progresses. But first, let's have a word from our sponsor, KK Woodscapes.
Here at KK Woodscapes, we only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
If you need a trophy to memorialize any iRacing or event around your neighborhood, community, or family, KK Woodscapes, give them a check out. Kevin Kyle sponsoring many aspects of the Vortex Racing Network umbrella. Give them a shout. Practice underway, about to go into qualifying. Fastest drivers in practice: Jeff Pfeiffer, Tom Barish, JZ Bennett, Matt Schofield, Paul Ferdiani, all guys we're going to keep an eye on. Now, I used to call this the way too early playoff picture, but Zach, I don't think you can call it that anymore, as we have completed 6. This is the 7th race. Looking at the top 12 right there, no win and you're in. This is all about points. I got to tell you, you got to feel good if your name's Joe Vulpes.
Yeah, you definitely do. But yeah, this is a big race for all these drivers. Halfway through this race today, we'll be halfway through the regular season. Exactly. So this is where you really got to start really finishing these races. And like we always talk about, showing up. Because like you just said, it's nice to be someone like Joseph Vulpes right now, plus 86 above the cut line and 40 above second place. So just an incredible gap right there that Vulpes has really built up through consistency and never missing a race. But right there on the cut line, Main Gene, it is unbelievably close already. And it definitely isn't way too early anymore, like you said, to start talking about this type of thing. So these drivers are going to need to have a good run just about every time they come out here for the rest of the season to have a chance to race for this championship.
Yeah, as I'm looking at it right there, I think Matthew Smith kind of stands out for me, the number 96. He dropped out of the top 12 last week. That's a guy, we should keep an eye on to see how he's going to recover this week after having that large movement. Eddie Peltz has had some pretty good efforts here recently, climbing up the ladder on his quest to get into the playoffs. And then look at 17 and 18. That's a couple of playoff drivers right there. Matt Schofield, Paul Ferdiani, and 19th. There's a guy, AJ Benish. AJ had such an up and down year. He wins the opener, comes back, finishes 25th, 19th, and 30th until he scored that 8th place finish last week. But rough run for the 3-time and defending champion.
Yeah, Benish, not what you would expect from the defending champ. I mean, really, it was around this time last year where he turned it around. He started off struggling early last year as well, but he really, really turned it around and became one of the strongest drivers and finished it off with the championship. So I would not be surprised to see that number 5 running up front here today, but you never know, Mean Gene. It's going to be interesting. And it is, like we just talked about, we're in the nitty gritty of this season. I think Benesh, he's got to be Adam Mulligan's at this point. He's got to start stringing together more of those top 10 finishes at the very least.
Yeah, no time better than the present to start securing his way up the board. Speaking of securing your way up the board, last week at Vegas, we saw David Owens take the win. 9 leaders at Vegas, but David Owens claiming the crown. Zach Engel finishing second, Joe Vulpes on the podium once again. And what that did for Owens and for Zach Engel was scoot them up even further on the playoff poll. Another fun thing we're doing here in the Dennis Puckett Big Trucking Tuesday is our Euro Speed Racing in-season challenge. 32 drivers seated doing battle in a single elimination as the season progresses, bracket tournament. Now, we'll pay attention to who's here, who's not here. If you're not here, that is an automatic L, and your opponent will move forward. Last week, of course, we had the 7 shootouts to advance folks into the bottom 7 brackets. And this week, we're going to see exactly how those showdowns go. I'll tell you what, though, that first bracket right there, Smoking Joe, that thing is a very, very difficult one indeed. If it was a sphincter, you couldn't get any water through it. Look at that. Vulpes versus Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer's fastest in practice, so he's got a shot to give Joe problems. After that, you can see McWhorter versus Zach Williams. Both those guys on the cusp of playoffs. JC Bennett, Rookie of the Year. Ryan Newman, we've seen him running top 5 before. And then you get down into Gambrel versus Benish. So, again, lots of showdowns. Gambrel had a great start to the season. AJ not so good. So, again, something like lightning could strike right there. So, a little bit of paperwork we need to...
Will be interesting, Mean Gene. And, the winner getting that $1 million. So, a lot on the line.
Oh, yeah. And there it is. There's the paperwork. Who wants to handle that paperwork?
I think Joe said he wanted to be the one to do this.
There you go. Smoking Joe. He reads. We don't. What do you got, Joe?
Yeah, I don't know what those words say. What do those letters say?
So a lot of housekeeping from last week at Las Vegas, if you remember from the broadcast. Joe Amato in one of those restarts changed lane before the start-finish line at Vegas, and went 3 wide before the start-finish line, gained an advantage. So he was given a warning for that. An incident with Joe Amato down the backstretch with Ryan Newman was deemed intentional wrecking. Joe Amato got a 1-race suspension for that. Madison Foss, some what would be called ARCA braking, quote-unquote, happened in a few of those wrecks in the race last week, so a warning was given for that as well. Timothy Foss was given an EOL and a 3-point penalty for not asking for the EOL last week when he, under caution, when he couldn't drive around the track and keep up with everybody. Wayne Newman got an official warning for some of the same ARCA braking stuff, it looks like, as well. Matt Novella got suspended for the wreck with Joe Amato, if you remember that one from last week. We went into detail with that one. And Ryan Newman got suspended, I believe, for the incident that we saw beginning of the race with Madison Foss on the apron as well.
Well, Mean Gene, whenever I go to Las Vegas, there's a lot of housekeeping afterwards as well.
I see what you did there. The one that I feel the worst for has got to be Ryan. I mean, you cannot intentionally wreck, but he barely clipped or he missed and hit the infield wall and killed himself. So, if you're going to get the penalty, at least follow through and do the damn thing right.
Broke rule number 1, wrecking himself instead of somebody else intentionally.
Yeah, I know. So
that's probably what the suspension's for.
Maybe his conscience jumped up at the last second, said don't do it, and he's
grabbed the wheel.
He unconsciously jerked it. Yeah, because he didn't want to hit her. But anyway, this is something that happens, I believe, in the larger leagues. Periodically, you got to tighten the reins.
Whoa!
You don't want the inmates running the asylum. Qualifying is over. Congratulations to Eric Gambrel as he is. Yeah, Eric gonna take the pole. Congratulations. You are the winner of the Sim and Destroy Racing Company pole position. Sim and Destroy Racing Company. Kevin Kyle's latest endeavor is all about the apparel. You want some shirts, you want some hats, you do. Check them out. Sim and Destroy Racing Company sponsoring our pole award here today. Eric Gambrel, recipient of the award. Joining him on the front row, going to be Jeff Pfeiffer, needing to advance versus number 1 seed Joe Vulpes. Joe Vulpes going to be starting in third. Kevin Kyle joining Vulpes on the second row. Tom Fred Lester in the number 6, going to be your number 5 ride. Jake Johnson, best qualifying effort of the year so far for Magic as the 32 fires from the 6th position. Paul Ferdiani knocking on the door of the playoffs, going to start in 7th for the Gambler here today. Kyle Hanot going to start in 8th. Did anybody try to wreck him? That's usually where the intentional. If I remember a few years back, somebody tried to get Kyle, and they failed too. They took themselves out, and Kyle went on for a top 5. Starting in 9th, Rich Swingle going to be firing off in that number 97. JC Bennett battling from the 10th position. Tommy Fox going to start in 11th. Hey, there's a Nick Rendo sighting, going to be starting in 12th. Welcome back, Nick. Nick
That's
Mills. Yeah, Nick Mills going to be starting in 13th. Nick took care of Tony Iverson for us all last night, through that tombstone right through the passenger's side window. Alex McWhorter going to start 14th today. Alex, really strong driver, knocking on the door of the playoffs. Jaron Valley, number 2 in points, starting 15th. Zach Winstead, Gulf Coast here, also one of the Sim and Destroy Racing Company factory drivers on Monday night. The Carnivore, Steve Lewis, going to start in 17th place today.
Nice.
Sam Milliken, the Texas driver, in 18th. Tom Barish, 19th. Zach Williams, needing a good run to get back into the playoffs, starting 20th. Matthew Smith, the 96. Same thing there, Zach. Needs a good run for Smith to get back in there. And David Brenner firing off from 22nd. Missed last week. Needs a good run here today to get back on track.
Always good to match the position you're starting with your number at least, though, and Brenner is able to do that. Wayne Newman, he will be starting in 23rd. Was he not one of the suspended drivers? Was he just he just penalized? Oh, the other Newman was penalized. So while he
got a patty whack.
He was just he will be able to race. So he'll be out there starting 23rd. I apologize for that. Adam Milhut will be starting in 24th. 25th will belong to Keegan Lazar. We'll see what the rookie could do. Tim Darby 26th. David Owens will be rolling off 27th. Really faster out of club as Owens. Keep your eye on him today. 28th will be Matt Schofield. 29th Chris Smith. 30th Edward Peltz. He's been having some good runs lately. Keep your eye on that 7. 31st will be Chris Morrow. 32nd will belong to Austin Rayborn with Steve Neal. He'll be doing admin duties today as well. He'll be starting in 33rd. 34th will be Timothy Foss. And then John Gallagher and Madison Foss will be rounding out this field of 36. And to clarify also what Joe meant by ARCA breaking, it's just the lack of checking up. And the Fosses were the ones that we saw penalized for that, but they also spent some time with some of the more experienced drivers on track, learning those habits. So shout out to them, and excited to see what they can do today.
You know, and that's really what Dennis Puckett thought about when he put this together. He knew none of us are pros, and so wanted to make a place where everybody could come together and try to improve their skills and make this fun for everyone. Nobody enjoys being the wrecking ball. Nobody enjoys ruining their and another person's day. So Eddie Peltz, I want to give big props to him, taking a little bit of time. So we saw Madison, Tim, and Eddie working on this. I'm sure other people doing it as well, but I just really want to give flowers to those people going out of their way to get better. And I know that those three put a lot of time and effort into it this week. About to go green here, the pace car out of the way.
Well, I'm wrecking. We are wrecking.
And we're wrecking early here. I see McWhorter. There's the 89 of Williams.
Oh,
there's
man.
The 08, the 15.
Man, Mean Gene, have you ever heard of the USA 500? Shades of the USA 500 in Michigan, right?
Well, that is not what we were looking for there early on here.
That's your replay, boys.
Little bit of a wreck before we get to the green-white checker.
I'll get you guys a blimp view of this. I think that's going to be the best way to kind of dissect this. But here we go. I don't know exactly where it's going to start. Maybe somewhere on Milliken, in the 17 up top. But here we go. Let's roll it. Check up there, top left, Mean Gene 00 checking up, Lynott checking up. You're seeing that little snake occur right there, and there it is. The Slinky coming inwards. And, oh boy, Brenner now not slowing up in time. Going to get into the back of Williams in the 89, I believe that is. Clips the 35 there. Oh boy, and then we look behind this. Not a ton of time for these trucks behind them, and they continue to pile in. Again, look at this. Not a ton of room to go somewhere, Mean Gene. So what do I always say to do here? And let's see if anyone does it.
Come to a complete damn stop.
Yeah, look at Edward Peltz using the Auto Club start finish line as a stop sign. And he's going to wait for this to clear out because there's nowhere to go. One of the cars in this is one of the championship contenders of David Owens.
Yeah, David Owens not qualifying here today. Instead, starting from the back and of regretting it almost immediately. Under caution here, almost immediately on lap 1. We're going to do a little bit of investigation to see which of our drivers are going to end up needing some repairs. But before that, Let's go ahead and give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Sim and Destroy Racing Company. Sim and Destroy Racing Company, the latest endeavor by Kevin Kyle, bringing you the most fabulous merchandise available in iRacing. The ever popular Goldie with the gold tooth in his mouth. Gentlemen Never Lift, another version of the shirts, and Burning Rubber, Not Bridges. 3 fantastic shirts available now for purchase from the Sim and Destroy Racing Company. Check them out. Sim and Destroy, sponsor of the Pole Award here today. The Goldie, my favorite. I love to see that little sparkle in the grill. The whole top diamonds and the bottom row gold. Gentlemen Never Lift. Sometimes they never break. And Burning Rubber, Not Bridges. Sim and Destroy Racing Company. Give them a shout out. Plenty of factory drivers here for them today. Nick Mills, Jaron Valley, Kevin Kyle, and there's one more. Who is it, Zach?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, the other one that's on the team?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Come on.
Oh my gosh, put me on the spot. You said Jaron Valley, Kevin Kyle, and... Nick Mills.
There's one more. There's 4.
Oh, there's 4 now. Zach Winstead, right?
Nope.
Zach William? No. Why am I not... who is it?
You want to give it a try, Joe?
I said Nick Mills.
Yeah. It's Nick, Kevin, Jaron Valley.
Oh, Chris Morrill. Chris Morrill.
Oh, there it is. Nailed it.
Yes. Who has actually been in that wreck. And also, Joe, if you can clarify something for me, it looks like there was a lot of confusion underneath that caution in terms of the pace car. But then on top of that, what happened to our pole sitter?
Yeah, so of course a lot of confusion on where you need to be. The 46 car there of Gambrel made a no-no. He dropped below the apron on that when the caution came out on turn 1 and went below the green cone for the exiting of pit road. So it deemed him making an unsafe pit entry, pit exit, and speeding in the pits. The trifecta for being in the wrong spot. So EOL penalty for that.
The circle of death for Eric Gambrel. But one thing he did do, me and Gene, that I saw him do, is he knocked the cone over. So I can't do it to him anymore. I can't hurt him anymore.
No, taught that cone a lesson. You know, you don't mess with Eric Gambrel. And that cone learned that the hard way.
I did.
All right, so on the track, look at this. Kevin Kyle giving a little push there.
What is going on? You thought the pace car was leading?
So, hey, gentlemen never lift, okay?
Not even
Stop
the pace
it.
car. Oh my God. So Smorl's on the Wednesday night team, so I was put in the spot wrongly. Is he driving a Sim and Destroy car right now? The truck? Well, that's fair. That's fair then. That's fair. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't look like the other ones.
No, that's a really cool one right there. Look at that.
I do like it.
Is that Goldie on the side? I'm assuming with the gold trim.
That is Goldie. That is Goldie. Taking off mine. I like that.
Now, look, Chris did win this thing 2 years ago, so I expect to see him pushing his way up through the field here relatively quickly. Now, meanwhile, little bit of housekeeping. Smorl did go a lap down, though, after what just happened. So Wayne Newman, Chris Smorl, and David Brenner, those 3 drivers are a lap down without ever crossing the start-finish line under green. So tough break to begin, but I'm sure we're going to get this thing back underway any moment. Up front, Jeff Pfeiffer. Jeff Pfeiffer, little bit of Kevin Kyle all over the back of him, but he's still rolling. So that Harley Davidson, number 85 Ford, ready to fire it off from the starting position. Joe Volpus on the outside. Joe with a great lead in the points right now, has just had a storybook season. Away we go. Jeff Pfeiffer going to lead him down the front stretch. Inside lane now making momentum. Pfeiffer pulling away. Kevin Kyle side by side with Joe Volpus. Tom Fred Lester behind him in fourth. Here comes Magic, 32. But let's go 3 wide. Kevin Kyle with the 32 and Rich Swingle on the outside. Kyle going to bring it in on the inside. Hard racing here early. Lap number 6 at Auto Club.
We got some intensity early. These guys not deterred by that sketchy start already. You saw Lynott shooting it on the inside to try to go 3 wide. He is already up to the top 5 right now. You have Kevin Kyle in front of him in fourth, so a pair of Kyles right there. And Joseph Volpis up to the lead, the points leader, continuing his dominant season early, going to collect another point here for leading this lap. And maybe he'll even be able to lead the most laps in control early is the 13.
Keeping an eye on some big names. Jaron Valley running back.
Oh, we're
in
under
the 12.
caution. It appears Steve Neal. Actually, no. Oh,
let's check out David Owens.
Let's see. Like, trying to figure it out. So we're hearing maybe Brenner and Wayne Newman. So here they are. Okay. I'm sure I'll be able to find this soon. Huh. Weird caution, guys. So if it was these two, it was all the way back in the field, like.
Well, I saw on the radio David Owens said sorry, so not sure.
Okay, and Owens is back here with them. So yeah, it's Wayne Newman, Brenner, Owens. I'll let you guys know. Okay. Oh, I found it. Okay, here we go, guys. So. Yep, keep your eye on.
Oh my word! Yeah, I would have missed that too. Oh. Watch this blue car. Watch this blue car though. He's like, ah.
Oh, some air getting underneath that 44, almost going around his Ferdiani, or almost going over, I should say. Oh, still trying to lift up a little bit there, but. Yeah, he did get turned into the wall. That's going to likely be a good amount of damage. That's really similar to what we saw happen to Tony Iverson. Granted, that was a Cup car. But yeah, not a good start to the race with a 44. You could see that left fender right there, Mean Gene. A little bit of damage there.
Pits are open. Zach Williams, Matt Schofield, Alex McWhorter, David Owens in there once again. Second visit of the day. Paul Ferdiani is getting an extended stay in there. So Owens with a little bit of work. Chris Morrill back onto the track. Wayne Newman, David Brenner, all getting repairs. Remember, Newman, Brenner, Owens damage early on. Smorrill as well. So they're not happy there's multiple cautions, but their crew chiefs are, as they're trying to get a little bit of work back done on that vehicle. Looks like Chris Smorrill was the lucky dog, as I now have the number 50 Simmon Destroy Ford back on the lead lap. And there he goes. Up front, Joe Volpis is now your leader, taking over from Jeff Pfeiffer. Jeff Pfeiffer, though, not very far behind, going to be starting, looks like the outside. I believe Volpis going to choose the inside for the restart. Second row, Kevin Kyle Lynott. Will the real Kyle please stand up? Oh, Volpis calls the outside. I think he did that in spite, Zach.
He did. He heard it, and he's like, oh, he
must have heard
knows. Screw that. And he goes to the top, even though it's not the right decision. But he's going to take it.
Yeah.
Also, a little bit of a, let's just say, tussling going on between Wayne Newman and Brenner under caution there. So I do think those two not very happy with one another after that incident. So we'll see. And I think it also could be with where they're running the field. That's never fun. But there they are. I think they got some damage fixed for both drivers. There was a good amount, excuse me, I'm sorry, of front-end damage to that 08 there. I think he may have gotten the bulk of it fixed.
Well, and those two are going to be battling for a lucky dog position. That's Newman in the 08 and Brenner in the 22. So they will be starting behind each other. Going to have to keep an eye on it and see what develops in that battle. Up front, still a little bit of shuffling going on. You can see them all getting back up into line. Top 10, though, you got Volpis, Pfeiffer, Lynott, Kevin Kyle, Jake Johnson, Rich Swingle, Nick Rendo into 7th, Tommy Fox, Jaron Valley, and Steve Lewis. So top 10 all groups of the usual suspects. Biggest mover in the top 10 is Lewis, up 7. Behind him, Adam Mailhot, the sharp-dressed man, up 13th. Into 11, Jay-Z Bennett, Chris Smith, and Nick Mills. So big field. Now we're ready, Zach. We've had a couple of whoopsie daisies.
Are we ready?
I believe we're ready for the extended green flag run.
We shall find out, my friend.
Pace car is off, waiting for Vulpes to drop the hammer away into the restart zone. We go,
Nice
away
start.
we go. Joe Vulpes with a good start. Going to bring Kyle Lynott with him. Inside lane, Pfeiffer, and then Jay Johnson is the fourth truck on the outside lane. Still side by side, though, with that inside group. Front row now making their way around. And let's go 3 wide. That's Swingle on the inside.
Into Johnson.
Let's touch, and there goes
and around goes
Swingle.
Swingle. Yeah, Swingle around Mean Gene, and caution is out, I believe. As looks like a few other hits there, and can't tell if we're staying green on the 24. It's a substantial damage as well, and we actually do appear to be still green, Mean Gene.
We're still racing. Good action going on all the way back. Some of these guys not going as fast as they could because they slowed, thinking something might get called. It did not. That's going to make it fun on the next possible caution. I'm going to keep it buried because a caution might not come out. Gambrel on the inside making good progress in that last shot, but Gambrel down 14. Remember, Gambrel was your pole sitter. He made the mistake of going down. You're not supposed to go down at Auto Club, and he did it. And, you know, now he's got a mouthful of dirty air for his efforts.
Yeah, he's going to have a hard time working through this field, but you know he has a speed for it. Up front, Lynott starting to breathe down the neck of Joe Vulpes. Going to look for that lead soon. Lynott's so good here at Auto Club. And yeah, this is such a big track, Mean Gene, to where that's why I think we didn't get the caution there. Just such a, I guess you could say, small racing service compared to how much activity space there is here. As you see Lynott working that top right now, and really a lot of drivers starting to work that top lane.
Hey, go back to Gambrel. Look at that foolishness
what
right
a cluster.
now. Yeah, that's Mailhot in that black 66. Gambrel directly behind him. That's the 31 of Austin Rayburn taking it up high. The 998 of Keegan Lazar, not to be confused with the 988. And then behind them, that's Jaron Valley. Valley's still back in 16th. This guy's second in points. Just goes to show you how tough it can be when you're stuck in a big field to make any forward progress.
Man, these guys just slicing and dicing down the front stretch. Mean Gene really mixing it up is this group right here. You can see how much effect the dirty air has on these drivers as well as Kevin Kyle don't work the inside right there. Looked like that was Kyle. Yeah. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. That was the 01. But boy, oh boy, this is an intense spot right here in the field, Mean Gene, and really goes to show how important qualifying was here today and how important protecting your track position is. I think the guys who have yet to pit are really happy with that decision.
Valley and Owen making their way around that 988.
Oh no, Gambrel! Oh, it's gonna be a big one.
Oh, the 31 comes down, picks up Lazar and Milliken. Milliken back up onto the track. Wow, lots of pain there. You can see the 31 trying to collect himself. That's Austin Rayburn. You kind of saw that starting to develop, though. The 998 of Keegan Lazar was off pace, and it started to back up the field as they made their way around the field. Very tight, not a lot of real estate. You know, Jaron Valley and David Owens, they can do that stuff. You know, they can split you, go 3 wide, and pass you. But you're talking about 2 of the top 5 drivers in the league with those 2 guys.
Yeah, definitely, Mean Gene. I completely agree, and it only gets messier. The deeper you get in the field, the dirtier it gets worse. Here you see Gambrel on the inside right here of Austin Rayburn. He's going to, I think, slide up a little bit or maybe get a little bit loose. One of these 2 is, actually, it's in front of them where there's a big loose moment with the 66, and then Gambrel coming up into the 31. And that is enough to send Rayburn back up, and this was a big hit, Mean Gene. So far, he's able to keep it off. And who's going to be the unlucky souls? And Milliken. Yes, it is.
And Lazar as
Milliken,
well.
yeah. And there goes Milliken. Wow. And Milken may
Steven.
come back at the track here.
Yep.
He's going to try to lock it down.
Lock it down. There he goes. Good work.
Really good work by Sam Milliken. And now let's go back to Rayborn because boy, oh boy, it wasn't over for him yet. Here we go. What did they learn?
No.
Oh, this is a horrifying moment for everybody. Oh, it's just a handful of break for the 08. And 6 does a great job there. Really, everybody does. Whole field there doing a good job. You see Eddie Peltz watching them all. Daddy Edward Peltz being like, okay, good job, team.
Yeah, that was the 6 of Tom Lester going high to avoid it. I think that was
Foss doing a good job.
Yep, I think that was Newman. So, again, better awareness right now. It's much just, you know, those guys got loose up top, came back down. Gambrel wasn't ready to see them, you know, suddenly appear in front of him. Meanwhile, pits are open. Lots of drivers taking the opportunity to come down and get a little bit of look at what kind of damage is on their car. Top 11 have not pitted as of yet. So those fellas still sticking it out as far as not wanting to give up track position. And with what's been happening out there, 3 cautions in 16 laps, you really can't blame them.
No, you can't. I'm sure these drivers would love 4 fresh tires or even 2 fresh tires, but it's not worth giving up any track position right now. Things have been far less sketchy in the pits, but we'll go, up front in the field, but we'll go to the pits to find out what the guys who have pit are smoking. What are they smoking, Joe?
Yeah, so today, of course, we got a 110-lap race here around Old Auto Club. So what does that mean? It's a little bit longer than other races in the series. So instead of 3 additional sets, there's 4 additional sets in the pits for tonight's race. Fuel window is about 27 to 30 laps, so you can see we're 16 laps in right now. So if they pit right about now, they may be able to stretch it on 2 stops, but it's a tall task for a 110-lap race to go 95 laps on a 2-stop race with only 27 to 30 laps on a tank of fuel. So still a little bit outside that window. I think that's why most of these guys up front haven't pitted yet.
Makes sense.
Yeah, a little bit of insight there for what's going on. But, you know, Zach, I mean, in my experience, when I'm at Auto Club with 36 people and we've had 4 cautions and 16 laps, I'm just going to tuck it in. I'm going to tuck it in behind somebody else, and I'm going to go for that 45 lap run on a tank of gas and make it into 2. I think it's entirely possible. Of course, last time I thought that, I get 100 laps of green flag racing immediately following it, but whatever. It just is what it is.
Yep, it always seems that whatever strategy you're running, the opposite seems to happen. Shout out to Rendo. Not familiar. Is that a rookie or is that someone that is returning to BRL?
Rendo, I've seen Rendo run over, I think, in Moonlight. I think he was a temporary member of like that.
Okay.
NMO, Gulf Coast group of guys, East Coast Alliance, something in there. So
interesting.
I haven't seen him in a while, but pretty good friends. Pretty good friends with like Owens and Vulpes and those guys. So not a surprise to see him up front with Vulpes and Lynott. So those 3 guys probably going to work together. Here we go. You can see already pace car is out of the way. Rendo reminding Vulpes he's behind him. Look how tight Kyle is. Away we go. Good start there by Vulpes. Got the push from Rendo, pushing him out to that big lead. Vulpes, then Lynott. Rendo on the inside has Pfeiffer. Pushes Pfeiffer up the field a little bit. I guess he doesn't like Harleys. He must ride one of them Japanese motorcycles. Rendo holding on for 3rd. Kevin Kyle 4. Pfeiffer falls back a little bit, losing the entry from Rendo, squeezing him on the wall. JC Bennett 6. Lewis Johnson. How about McQuarter?
David Owens is around
with Owens.
Owens with a 360 off the racing surface. I think that will leave us green. We'll see what happens as Owens re-enters, but I do think we'll stay green here, Mean Gene, as that could have been horrible for Owens, but very similar to what we saw on the last restart. The damage will not be that bad for the 8. That's got to be frustrating, though, as he'd already been in an earlier incident, didn't qualify, was in that first checkup incident, was driving through the field. He was actually who I was about to talk about. He was fighting for a top 10 spot, and then that happens.
Yeah, David Owen's already been in the pits 3 times, so lots of issues going on with that number 8. Owens, less starts than the other drivers, but on the victory that he had along with the podium, you can see how quickly he jumped up into the playoff picture. Speaking of playoff pictures up front, Joe Volpes, Kyle Lynott. Lynott needing more points. Remember, he too has missed a couple of races, so Kyle needing big results. Nick Rendo behind him. Nick Rendo rubbing the bumper. Now looking around the outside. Lots of aggression from that 0-5. Riding that rail. Trying to get around. Lynott now peeking below Volpes. Holds that wheel. But that's still going to let Rendo get all the way to the quarter, now the door, and now he's going to get by Lynott. Great run on the outside by Rendo. Maybe looking to try it again, but it only works in one set of turns and not both.
Yeah, Lynott making the inside work through 3 and 4 there. Going to take that position back and shut the door right there on Rendo. But, man, what a beautiful run through the top there that Rendo got there in that 0-5 in that previous lap. Really doing a good job on entry. Trying to do the same here, but opposite, forcing Lynott higher up the track than Lynott wants to be, but Lynott not to be scared. Runs the top nearly perfectly. Looks like he will be able to clear that 0-5 here. We'll see if he looks to the inside out here, over here. Another driver new to this league, JZ Bennett, currently running in 5th. You can see him doing a great job already early in this race is the 00 Bennett.
Ignition point driver JZ Bennett is holding on to that 5th place position. Has to be happy. Look behind him, though. How about Steve Lewis battling for his life? He's got cars to the front, cars to the rear. McWhorter right there, and here comes Gambrill looking around the outside. Gambrill not looking like he's suffering any ill effects after the contact that he just went through. Trying to hug the wall. Louis pushes him up, squeezes him. But you know what happens when you squeeze a lemon? You get lemonade.
Yeah, you do. But when you squeeze a steak, you get steak juice, and that tastes good. Look at Rendo and Lynott. Rendo trying to throw a slide job on Lynott. Not able to do it right there. You're going to watch him lose a run here. I think Jeff Pfeiffer, that may open up to him. Pfeiffer doing an exceptional job keeping that track position that he earned through qualifying. He started on the front row with Gambrill, but he did not make a mistake like Gambrill did, and he has been in the top 5 all race. Look at these runs that these guys are getting on the leader of Volpes as well. Lynott almost able to make a move on Volpes there.
Yeah, you talked about Pfeiffer. He's now side by side with the 05. Now, Rendo squeezed Pfeiffer pretty good on that restart to take that spot, and Pfeiffer dropped back a few positions. So if Pfeiffer has the opportunity, I'm sure he'd love to. Yeah, he'd love to pinch Rendo the same way. Let's see how high he takes it.
Here we go, Pfeiffer versus Rendo. Pfeiffer doing such a good job here, Mean Gene. This is usually when we see Pfeiffer fall off. Pfeiffer not known for his tire conservation, more known for raw speed, but right now he's had it. We're getting to the latter part of this run. These guys likely with all these cautions have, I don't know, maybe 5-10 laps of fuel left, I'd say, and Pfeiffer still has as much speed as he did when we went green. Rendo, though, able to defend there and now make a move on Lynott, looking to the inside.
He's at the quarter of Lynott, trying to hold on behind them. Jeff Pfeiffer has a say in who'll be quicker. Who's he gonna push?
Yes, he does.
Down to the apron goes Rendo. Gonna slide up on Lynott. Get ready for the crossover. Oh.
He wanted the crossover, Mean Gene. You were right to read that. That was what Lynott wanted, but that you threw that dirty air Rendo did to the front nose of Lynott, and that threw Lynott into the outside wall, killed his momentum, and now Pfeiffer to the inside of Lynott.
Pfeiffer burning tires with these lines, but he wants to get up there. Remember, no points for leading laps, no stages here. Oh, you do get a point for leading. My bad. Oh, there's just no stage. Okay.
Oh, pass for the lead. Here we go. Rendo looking at Volpes, though. Oh, my gosh. Runs Volpes up the track. Volpes will likely hit the wall here. His momentum dead. And Lynott is going to have the door open to him, and I don't think Volpes is going to be thrilled about that.
Oh, you're definitely going to have to find that replay. I want to see that, Zach. That looks sexy. Nick Rendo got to take over the lead after that move. Now Rendo into the wall, trying to ride the rail, getting loose up top. You can see Lynott, the pack, going to eat Rendo alive. Here comes McQuarter and Gambrel now.
And here's looking at that pass, boys.
Yeah, in a train. Gambrel wiggling a little bit. He needs one of those gentlemen don't lift shirts because Gambrel was right up in the backside of those boys.
Look at that send right there by Rendo, Mean Gene, and he just slides right there, throws some dirty air. Vulpes shoves him up the track. Vulpes stays at the wall.
Looked like he used the rear. Is that what the name of his rear bumper is? Dirty air? I'm going to write that on my rear bumper. Dirty air.
Yep. So it's just something about dirty air.
Look, here we go.
Oh, he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again, and Vulpes gets closer to his side. Doesn't allow it. Will they touch?
Look at how many cars. Wow. This is all for the lead. All of this is for the lead right here. Vulpes, Lynott, Rendo getting the push from Bennett, McQuarter and Kevin Kyle, and Gambrel down low. Gambrel finally wise, lets Kyle take the apron.
3 wide.
Wow.
Oh, man, Mean Gene, these guys, there's not a ton of room, and you really lose momentum on that inside line.
Yeah, you got to do the slide the way that Rendo did and come right up in front of the 13 of Vulpes. Here we go
like
again.
This, here we go. Oh, he's at the full-on slider. Slide job.
Look at Vulpes. Look at Vulpes. He's got it buried.
Oh, no. Into the wall. Oh, my goodness. Vulpes, again, not thrilled. What will Vulpes do? And Jay-Z with a run.
Bennett says, I love what y'all are doing. Please keep it up, bro.
More of that, please.
And there goes Bennett, but now it's his turn to die on the inside because look at the 05 of Rendo.
Rest in peace. Jay-Z Bennett's run is dead. I think even Vulpes is going to have a big run out of here. Yeah, he's going to tuck in, maybe try to make himself the meat in the sandwich. Will he? Oh, boy, this is all types of intense, Mean Gene.
Wow, this is pretty amazing stuff. 10 trucks all together right here. Inside lane not working.
Oh, the wall.
And the wall again. That's going to let Vulpes get some speed through the middle. Vulpes will take over the outside lane. Now he's got that exit speed. Kyle Lynott says 3 wide. Smile, here I come. Daisy Bennett says, I'm in the middle, though, Kyle. Kyle says, I don't care. You move down. I have gap, then fill.
What a move there by Kevin Kyle. Barely enough room for his truck, and he makes it work to get back into a podium position. Now he's going to try to negotiate his way around Jay-Z Bennett. Bennett really on defense right now more than he is offense. And boy, that wall looks like it has a magnet on it. Faking high is the 05 and then shooting it low.
What an amazing drive by Rendo, continuing to take names and make friends, sliding up into Vulpes. Kyle Lynott fading the wrong way. He gets into Kevin Kyle. 3 wide with Pfeiffer. Back into the quarter.
That was a close one, and they somehow figured it out. Oh, my God, but not Pfeiffer. Not Pfeiffer. He is
the front end.
Dead. Oh, no. No caution, Mean Gene, but Pfeiffer towing. They're going to stay to green. There is all types of body work over there in that general area of the track, but it has not brought out cautions. But I will tell you one thing that it did. It brought out Jeff Pfeiffer from his race car.
Did you see the front end of his truck just shoot off?
It right now. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Meanwhile, up front, Rendo riding the high side. Vulpes going to take a low on the apron. Rendo into the wall, losing momentum. And here comes the Carnivore. Steve Lewis into third.
And here we go, taking a look at how Jeff Pfeiffer's day is going to come to an end right here. And boy, oh boy, it's about to be a 4-wide situation. Just not enough room. And you see the chain reaction here, and this was a wallop of a hit. Oh, he's going to hit that part
on the track. Valley into the back of the 31, going a lap down. Nobody slowing down of that main group.
And that was Rendo. Yeah, that guy into the back. Oh, sorry, that was... yeah, Rendo in the back of him right there. But look at Kevin Kyle, the number 1, matching the number to the position right there. What a drive by Kyle.
Gentlemen never lift, and that's how you get in the lead. Kevin Kyle taking over the Simmons Destruction Racing Company factory owner in first. Nick Rendo in second. Vulpes behind him on the high line. Looks like Bennett trying to make the inside work. Vulpes trying to find the middle. loses momentum.
4
Eric
wide.
Gambrell
Gosh.
moving up. Steve Lewis, Alex McWhorter still rolling, might have some front end damage. Chris Smith, Matthew Smith, Zach Williams, top 10.
A lot of drivers having some of their best runs of the season right now. Steve Lewis in the top 5 firmly. We saw him make a pass or try to make a pass with a lead there and lose his momentum, but he certainly has the speed for it, Mean Gene. Started all the way back in 17th, and he's gained 12 positions to where he's running right now. He's looking good, is Lewis. But look at this intensity. JZ Bennett going to shoot 3 wide.
Oh, look at that. Also, looks like the 37 of Smith off the pace, fading backwards. Hopefully, he's going to recover his speed. I think he hit the wall and then just lost, about 8 positions there. And he's going to bring it into the pit is Chris Smith.
Oh, that's getting tight over there, Mean Gene, between Vulpes and Rendo and JZ Bennett. All types of tight. Vulpes and Rendo are losing positions, but they're doing it together. And they cannot be happy with one another right now. As you see Lynott below the racing surface, I believe Lynott brought it down for his pit stop. So Lynott the first to bite, Mean Gene, and that's not surprising. He's often one who likes to run those alternative strategies, which at this point is, but I also think these guys have got to be running on fumes at this point.
Lap 34, these guys need tires and they need gas, but nobody wants to be the
Gambrell's
first to
back up front.
Yeah, Eric looking good. He's had a couple of close calls, little bit of contact, but that 46 still rolling strong here. Remember, he was your pole sitter. Gambrell was the pole sitter.
Yeah.
All the way to the back, and now back all the way to the front. So, sweet seesaw day for the 46.
Yeah, from first to last to first for Gambrell, and we're not even about 40% done with this race, so it's already been an eventful one for the driver. The 46s, oh my gosh, it gets a little bit more eventful there as he tags Kevin Kyle just a little bit. Kyle gonna bring it down. Oh my goodness, I think Kevin Kyle may be pitting this lap, Mean Gene.
Yeah, lots of these guys. I'm watching the field. I saw Chris Smith, Zach Williams get loose. So these trucks starting to suffer ill effects. And once you're off the pace, especially how tight all these groups are, you're just seeing problems. Looks like Joe Volpe is coming in. Here comes Kevin Kyle. Matthew Smith still getting some work done there. These guys now figuring it is time to get those 4 fresh ones. It's time for the fuel. Up front, Gambrell now taking over the lead once again. From the front to the back to the front again. Sounds like a storybook novel.
And we have the double O coming in this time, so JZ Bennett will be bringing it down for 4 tires and fuel. Eric Gambrell's last pit stop was all the way on 7, though, and he was in for 4 seconds, so that tells me only fuel. So Gambrell can probably run about 7 laps more than the rest of these guys around him can. We heard Joel Vulpes talk about how there is potential there, maybe to stretch that and get that one last fuel stop than the rest of your competitors. Early to talk about that still, but we'll have to see how Gambrell decides to do this. He's still out here with Alex McWhorter and a Nick Mills sighting up front for the first time, and that usually does not take this long. Same with his teammate of Jaron Valley. He is now in the top 5 for the first time all day.
All right, so Nick Rendo just got his lap back the old-fashioned way. Rendo did come down on 34, taking tires and fuel. So according to mine, you can see when it all fades around, Lynott, who pitted on 32, should be your leader. Kevin Kyle is behind him, pitting on 35, just 2 seconds back. And then Rendo, 0.4 of a second behind Kevin Kyle. We're going to see where the other people come out, though, once they too make that decision. Meanwhile, up front, you can see Gambrell still running, but he's getting eaten alive by those guys that chose to pit. And you can really see the difference that those tires make, watching how quickly they're making their way around that 46.
Yeah, you really can. This is the track where tires are at a premium, and it really has everything to do with the age of the racing surface. Such an old racing surface, and it kind of acts as a cheese grater to these tires. This track, one of the most brutal on the schedule when it comes to that. So I think that a lot of these drivers happy to have that extra set available to them, as Eric Gambrell going to bring it down for what will be actually his 3rd pit stop of the race, but his 2nd, what you could call, I guess, scheduled, or really his 1st, what you call scheduled pit stop. Gambrell has fully recovered, and he is very much back in contention to win this race.
Eric Gambrell into the pits. We also see the 08 of Wayne Newman. He just has his pit stop. Austin Rayburn and Jeff Pfeiffer both down there for extended stays.
Go to Rendo and Kevin Kyle. Rendo and Kevin Kyle not enjoying each other's company right now, Mean Gene.
I don't know. Maybe that's how they like it.
But yeah, I mean, gentlemen never lift. Let's see how much of a gentleman KK decides to be here. If it goes the rest, or just decides to go the sim and destroy route. These two with some hard race in the past 2 laps. But right now, that draft that they're able to work with each other together on is going to really be beneficial as they try to get back through the field after this pit stop cycle. But I do think this is going to be a good cycle for that one in that 05.
They need to get together, though, because all of that dicing also affecting your tires. We saw just how bad these trucks were handling at the end of that run before the pit stops, and you don't want to exacerbate that situation. You don't want that to come along more quickly than it needs to. Right now, you're on lap 39. We're scheduled for 110.
Yes, we are.
You don't need to do that.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. Gene, we're having a lot of cars come down now. Madison Foss just got her services done, as well as Timothy Foss, it looks like. Actually, I'm sorry, Madison Foss coming down this time. Timothy Foss has already brought it down. Mixed up my Fosses there. Great entry there. Pelt's right behind Foss. It looks to honestly be looking over them today and doing an awesome job, and they are doing a very, very good job today. A really, really good pit entry there. Right now, it looks like this lead will cycle back eventually to Lenot, but if it's not before Rendo can get to him, Lenot pitting very early compared to the rest of them. 2 laps of 4, which doesn't sound like much, but it's going to be quite a bit here at Auto Club, me and Gene. That's a whole 4 miles, so we'll see that speed difference as this run goes on.
If we stay green. If we don't stay green, he turns into a genius and gives himself the lead by pulling that short pit position. We've had a lot of green flag running here compared to the 4 cautions that we had in that first 16 laps. So people seeming to be settling in now. A little bit smoother. Yeah, really good run here by the whole team. I want to go back just for a second. You mentioned Eddie Peltz and what he's doing. Zach, you and I talked a little bit about raw speed and racecraft last night. We had an extended talk about that. And I think it's amazing how some drivers can overcome the speed of somebody else with their ability to play that racecraft game. I'm not saying Eddie doesn't show that raw speed, but he's definitely a driver that has a grasp, a more complete grasp of the game than a lot of the other people on the track. You could say the same about a Tommy Fox as well, that these guys, they're not going to turn the top speed lap, but at the end of the race, if they're top 5, top 10, you're not surprised. And it's that ability to know the situation, know when 2 tires, know when 4 tires, and so that's what you really want to see. And so to hear Eddie working with people, again, I just want to commend all the people involved taking that extra time to make the race better. And I don't want to jinx anybody, but I haven't mentioned any of those 3 people's names in any foolishness today.
No, not only positively today has been the only times we've talking about them. And yeah, when I heard it was Edward Peltz that was working with them, I was pretty overjoyed that was the driver. I really don't think you can choose a better driver in this entire field to instill the right way to race and the proper way to treat people with respect on track than Edward Peltz. I've been with this guy racing alongside him or covering his races since day one for me. He was one of the first drivers. He was in the first league race I ever did about 3 years ago now over in the Precision Race League, and he was just as much of a class act back then, just as much of a respected driver in that league. And it's awesome to see just how quickly his influence and his advice and what he instilled in these drivers can have a significant impact on their racecraft on track. And yeah, I do think Edward Peltz a very, very talented driver, but he has a lot of great finishes that are because that number 7 is always looking clean. I mean, I remember earlier this season, we had one of our uglier races that had 20-something cautions, and Edward Peltz up until the last caution had no incidents.
Meanwhile, battled for the lead, Nick Mills, Jaron Valley, teammates.
Here we go.
Giving a look to each other.
And the 6 right there, too. This looks familiar to last night, me and Chief.
That's right. Lap drivers getting their laps back. Hey, we're
same color and everything.
Here. Yeah,
same number, same car, same scheme.
And you know what? Same situation.
Yep.
Tom Lester, way faster than the leaders, zips on by, Not a problem. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't part of all of that insanity last night either. For those of you that watched Monday Night Mayhem last night, we know you all did. There was a lot of confusion there at the end. People on different tire strategies. So you had leaders versus people battling for the lucky dog versus people that were 2 and 3 laps down. So a lot of excitement there at the end. Tom Lester, of course, being one of the guys that had brand new tires, was well over a second and a half faster than everybody.
Rendo into the wall. Rendo gets into the wall, Mean Gene, and now him and KK, this is the type of stuff I was talking about. They are hustling, to say the very, very least. Oh my goodness, as Rendo sets it super, super low. That would make me all types of nervous if I was Kevin Kyle right there. Oh, that was a sketchy send by the 05. Did not look like I had good intentions behind it. We'll see if these two drivers are able to kiss and make up, but it's not looking too pretty.
This is pretty much for the lead. Once we get around on our pit cycle, Nick Mills still running as your leader, getting his points, but Lynott in the lead. He's got Joe Vulpes peeking around the outside. Lynott pit on 32. Vulpes 35. Behind them, here comes Kevin Kyle. Kyle to the quarter. Oh, he taps Vulpes. Vulpes holds his line, says, no, I didn't want to get down on the apron there, Kevin. It's okay. Kevin Kyle continuing to run the apron. Lynott, Joe Vulpes has to make a decision. Falls into line rather than take it 3 wide.
And then Kevin Kyle going to try to use that inside. This is going to give Rendo a pretty big run. You can already see him closing the gap. He may have an opportunity to make it 3 wide to 3 and 4 if that same tomfoolery continues right through here. You see Kevin Kyle this time. He's going to try to have a more outside approach towards this corner. He's going to try to drive it down on exit, likely get away from those 2 trucks and try to match their drive out. Very hard to do that when those other 2 drivers he's going up against are able to just rip that top line, and that's exactly what Kyle Lynott's going to do to protect that lead. This is exactly what we speculated about happening, Mean Gene. We knew Lynott would cycle to the lead, but we also knew this would happen. We knew these drivers would catch up to him with their slightly fresher tires, but is it enough tire life to make a pass? Oh!
Rendo up into Kyle. Kyle grazes
Here we go again.
They're still touching. Meanwhile, look at Joe Vulpes. He's going to do the Fred Flintstone and bust his feet through the floorboard trying to go faster. He's like, we got to get away from these 2 guys.
Oh, and here goes the inside send again by Rendo. It's going to be right in front of KK.
No, can he
slip
holds the
bottom.
Oh, I thought he was going to do it.
I thought so too. I 100% thought so too. So here we go. Will he ship it to the inside again? How will Kevin Kyle defend this? He's going to stay married to the outside. That is the defensive line, in my opinion. He's going to have that drive out. Look at that outside run by Kevin Kyle. This will be better than Vulpes.
Hey, man, let's make it more interesting.
Gambrel's here.
Gambrel's here, half a second faster than those guys this last lap.
Yeah, and then Gambrel with those fresher tires, Mean Gene, it did not take him long. He is significantly faster than these 4 trucks in front of him. I think even with fresh tires, Gambrel has something figured out. He looks unbelievably fast. So here we go. Look at him holding the bottom here. Gambrel is going to just, I think, blow these guys' doors off.
Kyle around the outside passes Lynott. Vulpes on the outside, more speed. Here comes Gambrel 3 wide with Lynott.
Wow.
Lynott going the wrong way. Here comes Rendo pinching Kyle Lynott down on the apron. That's you 2 white trucks. Lynott runs him back up halfway, holds his line in the second lane. But boy, Lynott, Rendo is just putting on an excitement clinic for us today.
Yeah, I think the ones enjoying it the most are absolutely the ones up in the booth, you and me and Gene, because I'm loving what Rendo's doing here. It's been a lot of fun to watch, but boy, it's been aggressive. As here we go with another slide job attempt there by Joseph Vulpes, not able to finish it. It's going to be a big run for the 46 of Gambrel. Gambrel has the bottom figured out a lot better than everybody else, me and Gene.
Gambrel, though, gives the push to Vulpes instead of just cutting down below him. Now, though, he's on 6-lap fresher tires.
Look at that. Doesn't even slide up.
But still, that's going to hurt your the tire. It's going to heat him up, wear him out. Gambrel's going to pull moves like that. He's got to make the pass. He can't burn a tire and then just stay in that shot. Here he goes. But look at the outside lane. And look, once again, the Nick Rendo into the wall, losing momentum. Still back there with Kyle Lynott.
Whoa! Gabriel shoots
my.
up the track and slams the door shut in front of the 13 of Vulpes. Vulpes is probably sick of that happening to him today, but that was a great move, and it's what Gabriel had to do, because you're very right. That line is going to kill his tires, and it's not this part right here, Mean Gene. It's not sliding up. He needs to find room for that truck to slide up like it did right there. That's how he's going to save those tires, so he can get that wheel straight and drive it straight out of the corner. The more you have the wheel turned, the more your tires burn.
Isn't that amazing how it works? If you enter high, you burn your tires. If you exit low, you kill your tires.
Yep.
So you don't want to be doing that diamond technique here at Auto Club, whatever. It's definitely more an idea of rolling, keeping that right front warm, and not burning her up. Here we go. Gabriel taking a peek, and I feel a quick slide job coming.
Yeah, I think so too. Mean Gene Gabriel knows he has that tire advantage over Kyle. He's going to go for it here, and I don't even think it's going to be much of a slide job per se. It is not, because I don't think the crossover will be very possible here. You see Gabriel there trying not to give KK too much of that draft, so the run is not any stronger than it has to be, and we are under caution. Good run there.
Yes, it was. Long run. We saw the fellas that ran early in front stay there. And we saw Gabriel make his way all the way back up to the lead. Really exciting racing. We saw some 4 wide activity right there.
David Owens. Was this Owens? Okay, trying to find it for you guys. I'll let you know when I do.
David Owens having a rough day here today. He's already been in the pits multiple times. Has David Owens trying his best to stay on the lead lap, but 4 pit stops so far.
All right, I'll let you bring this one down.
All right, let's take a look here. Again, trying to stay on the lead lap. You can see he's off the pace. Really up high on exit.
Yeah, he's loose, I think.
Okay.
Huh. Trying to save it here is Owens. Oh, watch out for Brenner. Oh, boy.
Go all the way back to the beginning of the adventure and go in car. I mean, I'm not sure what's...
Yeah, it was it felt late to me, right? Am I crazy for...
Yeah, it looked like he was like gliding up high.
Yeah, maybe he was gone far before that. Like maybe he was gone at this point.
He had to be.
Let's go real time in the cockpit, and let's see here.
Okay, so he's hiding the apron. That's what we do, and then you exit up high. And there's somebody right there. Oh, and yep. That's what happens when you turn the wheel left and right. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, maybe it was the dirty air from the 30. Right there. There it is. That's what caused it. Yep.
That's certainly what caused it. The car's off during this spin as well. Interesting. Okay, so Owens not hitting anything, but gonna bring out a caution after one of the longest runs of the longest run of this race. A very good run. Yeah, and so that will be interesting to see where that one falls. Mean Gene, in terms of strategy, I think a lot of these guys are gonna.
When Mean Gene taught at the university, you got 100 level courses, and what you just saw was a 300 level course. Pay attention, boys and girls. Let's go look at the leaders now. Up front, we can see plenty of people, meaning everybody, coming in to take tires and fuel, except Chris Smorrell. Check it out. Stephen Neal and Chris Smorrell, 6.75 second pit stops. That smells like fuel only.
Yeah, it does. I was expecting some cuteness on this pit stop, and not surprised to see some. Mean Gene just watched, as I catch up with you guys, some of those pit stops, and it did in fact look like your assumption was correct. So this will, I think, mix up the field a little bit, but also it's going to change up, I think, the situations for a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, what's going to do is make the 4th and 5th rows really exciting as Neal and Smorrell, they last take tires back on like 38, So they're going to fade after about 5 or 10 laps. We'll just have to see how much it affects people and how tight the field is when that starts to go on. Kevin Kyle, Joe Volpus on the front row. Kyle with the late flexing gets that Sim and Destroy Racing Company Ford up there with Joe Volpus. Volpus on the front row outside. Great day for Volpus. Oh, he's on the inside. So I'm assuming Kyle has lane choice. Second row, Kyle Lynott and Jay-Z Bennett. Third row, Tom Barish making his way up there onto that third row, joined by Eric Gambrell on the inside, Matt Smith, Stephen Neal, Chris Morrill, Lester, and McWhorter. Into the restart zone, away we go. Kevin Kyle with a great jump. Joe Volpus does hold second place, and then two wide with Lynott and Bennett. Lynott, Bennett side by side. Gambrell going to fade up, and now Kyle Lynott taking a peek down on the apron. Dude, those tires are new, but they're cold.
Yeah. Oh, boy, that's got to be scary right there to make a move that bold this early in the run. But Lynott has the talent to make it work, and he shows that off there. Kevin Kyle doing what we know we can do. This is also Kevin Kyle's home track. Kevin Kyle is SoCal native. It's showing that he grew up coming to this place, and he is just as familiar with it as any other Californian it is. Having one of his better runs of the season right now, and that's Sim and Destroy. Ford. Sorry, oh boy. Sorry, Ford.
Speaking of Sim and Destroy, Jaron Valley also trying to push his way forward back in 12th. Dyson it there with Chris Morrill, Tommy Fox, Alex McWhorter, all trying to make their way around. And here comes Matt Schofield, part of that group as well. Good hard racing, and this now is the time, Zach. You've got the fresh tires. You've got to push through the middle of this crowd. If you want a top 10 finish, now is the time. You've got to get through this mess. If you let your tires get old and you're in this pack, you're going to go backwards.
I completely agree. This is the time to really make the most of those. The field's bunched back up. We saw how long a run can go here in this league with that last one, and then also just a weird caution to bring it back out. Not really anything else in the field indicating that we were about to get one. So I'd expect another good-sized run here at Auto Club in this field, but getting more and more stretched up. Here we go. Maybe not. Let's see here. Mailhot running in 22nd, and he is loose. He's below the apron now. Going to rejoin the track. Doesn't look like any damage done to that 66, but that's what I get for saying anything, Mean Gene. That is the commentator's jinx if I've ever seen one.
Well, Mailhot saved it down there. That's 200 level course, but, you know, if he'd had a 300 level course, maybe he'd be back with that lead group.
Oh, we got a big one, Mean Gene. Huge wreck.
Oh, no. Gambrell.
No. Gambrell in it. David Owens through the grass.
McWhorter facing the wrong way.
Oh, no. My heart breaks for the 46 driver of Eric Gambrell, looking destined to very much have a chance to win this race. And that front end is destroyed, Mean Gene. And we will take a look at what went wrong here for our drivers. This was an enormous wreck.
Wow.
So I'm going to go a little bit further back. Let's keep our eye on that 35 of Barish, actually. And I just realized, because that is spelled a little bit like something else, Mean Gene, and someone who's not here.
What? That wreck was huge. So many good drivers getting caught up in that track.
It's spelled like Banesh.
AJ's a very good friend.
And okay, so very big loose moment. I couldn't tell if he was Trump or Schwarzenegger there, Joe. But, oh, boy, so big loose moment there for Barish, and it causes a checkup. Gambrell doing the right thing, and he just gets destroyed. And oh, my. Yeah, I'm going to try to get the camera on that.
Wow.
Oh, let's go back a little bit, boys, yeah? Sorry if you're watching this, Eric. Oh! Eric Gambrell getting his certificate to the NASA space program here, Mean Gene.
Boom! Oh, he's done. That is
We
painful.
have liftoff, 360 in the air like Tony Hawk. And then the 96, McWhorter, synchronized spins.
Hold it, Smith. Don't. Oh, that's another guy.
Field entering. There's Owens. Yep. As our Joe is referring to, there's some blown engines in this wreck. You see dark smoke. That indicates a blown engine. Schofield, stop the car. Stop the truck, Schofield. Looks like that's what he is. Oh, he saw a gap open and he went truck. And then let's pick on the Fosses real quick. And the Fosses are doing the right thing, being scholars. I'm highlighting them because I trust them, Mean Gene. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Good job, Tim.
Yeah. That's what you
Gentleman
do.
and a scholar. Gentleman and a scholar. Oh, Edward Peltz looked like he was collected in it, though. He took one for the team.
Oh, Eddie. No bueno. He's still rolling, though.
Not too much damage to any of the 8 tentacles on that octopus, though, Mean Gene.
All right, so up front, Kyle Lynott taking over the lead. Teammate Joe Vulpes gonna join him. Those guys, again, pitted on lap number 54. We're on lap 61, so maybe people just getting on those tires a little bit too soon. Stephen Neal back in 20th, did pit on lap 60, taking 4 tires. You can see others coming down to get a little bit more fuel as well. Mail hot. Looks like Nick Rendo taking tires on 60, as well as Rich Swingle and Alex McWhorter. But once you start talking about those guys, McWhorter, Ferdiani, Smorrell, Smith, all those guys.
That's damage fixing, yeah.
Yeah, they're getting that damage repaired.
Rendo,
but you know what? Still, 29 guys on the lead lap. Gambrel trying to stay on the lead lap, but I'm wondering. We're going to learn a lot right here because you got to go fast to catch her back up.
She don't look good, Mean Gene.
No, look at it.
But I will say Rendo did lose significant track position. Not sure if it was when that caution came out or if something went wrong on the restart there. But Rendo was all the way back in about 20th when we got that most recent caution. So I do see why he threw on 4 tires. I think that makes a ton of sense for a driver like him to use those tires, even with the small advantage it's going to be, but that will probably be enough to get him back that track position.
And still plenty of time here to work your way through.
Oh, yeah, we just at the halfway point.
Yeah, we saw what Gambrel did with fresh tires, and I think Rendo is another guy that can, he can shoot through this thing relatively quickly. My question, of course, is up front. Now, everybody's still on fresh-ish tires. Remember, they all pitted on 54. We're only on 62. Add in those 3 caution laps. So you're only about 7, 8 laps into this, and these tires have cooled off during this caution. So I'm expecting some good racing.
Yeah, I'm expecting this one to be pretty intense, Mean Gene. I'm excited to watch some of the fresher tire guys work through this field. But I do think that was the time to do it, as it's going to be, not leading us off.
Yeah, also Nick Rendo got in the back because Eye of the Tiger takes 4 minutes to play. So he's got to listen to that. We're back on the green, and look at 3 wide
already.
Behind Kyle Lynott. You got Vulpes, Kyle. There's Bennett on the apron. Behind them, the 35 of Tom Barish making his way up for his first visit into the top 10. Nick Mills going to shut that door. And Tommy Fox in the 57 racing with them as well.
Really, really intense here on the early going, Mean Gene. Turn 1, we go 3 wide for second place. These guys really trying to take advantage of these tires while they have them, while they have that freshness and that trust in the race truck. Lynott, though, doing everything he has to do up front. Kevin Kyle not having the greatest restart right now. He's falling all the way back to 5th place.
Yeah, Kevin Kyle really was flexing his muscles deeper into the run. We're brand new into this, and so we're going to see the more aggressive guys like David Owens, who's now made his way up into 6th, going to have the advantage here early on the run. But you know who you can credit for these wild restarts and 3 wides? It's NASCAR. These trucks don't have super acceleration. It turns, all of them are equal, and it turns into basically drafting and blocking. If you want to make a move, you got to make it early before the tires vanish, and the best time is when everybody's bunched up, and that's why you see these big explosions, because that's when you can get 2-3. Oh, Owens to the bottom, rubs off the back of Nick Mills, got 2 sim and destroys.
He's going to try to throw the slide job, and he somehow does. Makes it stick. Unbelievable there by Owens. Super, super aggressive move on 2 sim and destroy drivers. That's one way to get sim and destroyed.
Here we go. And now look at Mills bringing him down. Mills pinching Owens as he's 3 wide.
Contact me, Gene.
Owens bumps him up into his teammate. Gotta love it.
Oh, Mills reminding him there were 3 wide there, arguing and driving, Mean Gene, multitasking over here at Auto Club. Oh, and Kevin Kyle does one for his team and says, that's my friend. And oh my gosh, he's in a Sim and Destroy sandwich.
Kevin Kyle into the wall. Tom Parrish going to sneak by. Here comes Schofield as well. Kevin Kyle taking the worst.
That did not work out for Kevin Kyle. Oh, that did not work out for Kevin Kyle. That is... Oh, man, and some naughty words on the radio.
Here comes Rendo. Rendo 3 wide with Schofield in the corner.
Oh, my gosh.
His way through. He's got Newman in front of him as well. Remember,
plus 20 or 12 positions. Plus 12 positions.
Rendo took tires on lap 60, so he's 6 laps fresher than everybody else. Here he goes again, Rendo with the aggression.
Slide
up in front of Louis, but Louis the carnivore. He'll take a bite out of crime. Look at Louis rubbing and let him know. Here.
Louis trying to take a bite out of his meat right there. That was a aggressive slide job, but that's how you pick up 12 positions in just under about 3-4 laps time. That's exactly what that's exactly what Rendo has done into the pits. It looks like that's going to be, and that's an incident point penalty for David Owens.
Ooh.
Wow.
I guess Kevin Kyle
may have hurt him.
Win that. Kevin Kyle did win that battle.
Oh, I guess he did. Well, he won the battle. Or I think David Owens won the battle, but Kevin Owens may have won the war right there. I mean, Gene. Oh, it finally got to say it, and it worked.
Rendo around the outside of Newman, and Rendo continuing now. He's made his way up to Tom Parrish. That is for 7th and 8th. Looking below Parrish, looking below Tommy Fox. Fox threatens the apron. Rendo has to let up. Gonna come up into Parrish. Parrish into the wall.
He didn't have to let up. He just didn't.
Nope. Hey, gentlemen never lift. Meanwhile, Rendo gonna come up again into Parrish one more time. Says, hey, I need more real estate here. And away goes. No, Parrish is back. Says it's mine.
Oh my gosh, that was some real bullying there by both drivers, the 05 and the 35. Not happy with one another down the front stretch. But wow, still continuing to move his way up is Rendo right now. This pass is not done yet. Oh, and
he got him.
That creates a big wreck. That was
got him. Wow, Parrish right there. I'll tell you what.
I don't want to say anything yet, me and Gene, because those are some of the ugliest looking ones, right? So you gotta kind of hit the crime scene first before you make too many assumptions. Here we go, boys. I'm going straight to the bar chase. There's only one camera angle we need to look at here.
Everything was getting escalated right there. We saw Louis getting after it with him. We saw Parrish getting after it with him.
All right, so Gene, we'll use that line right there below the 35 as our reference point.
All right. Oh, my eyes hurt. They're crossed. I can't tell what's happening.
Wow. Well, that's pretty cut and dry.
You know, though, they're in Fontana, and yeah, I'm going to look at this scale. Yeah, there was actually seismic activity.
Gene, I'm here. I'm here right now. There was not, my friend.
Was that Milliken that got caught up in that?
Yeah, it was. We'll take one more look at this in real time. That was Milliken. It's gonna be day over for Milliken. That was what it looks like if it quacks like a duck, Mean Gene, and that's gonna be it for Milliken and Jake Johnson. Jake Johnson gonna be done for the day as well. That race taking out 3 drivers right there.
Now, and go back now. Look what just happened between Ferdiani and Milliken. Live. Look live.
I will in just a sec. Hold on. I'll try to catch up to that.
Looks like something.
Yeah, it looks like Milliken tried to drive this thing around. Completely
the
destroyed.
The whole front end is gone.
Front end's gone. The hood flapping up against his windshield. He is. Oh, back onto the track. Oh, this is not going to end well, is it? Yeah, this is me catching up with you guys. There you go. Yeah, he can't see. He can't see that. That looks safe, right?
It looks like Pac-Man. Waka 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 waka.
Not to mention, we can't change our camera.
Waka 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 waka. Jesus.
Well,
You know, he had to choose between Owens and Ferdiani. Why'd you get the gambler? Come on, man.
oh.
Why? Hey, the hood's down, though.
That's a lot of incidents. Oh, and Ferdiani.
Oh, no.
I won't. He doesn't deserve for us to look at that one again. He didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, we're on lap number 71. Remember, we are scheduled for 110 here today at Fontana. You know what? And while we're under caution, I think this is be a perfect opportunity for us to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, KK Woodscapes.
Here at KK Woodscapes, we only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
Oh, got wood? Oh, yeah. If you don't got wood, you need to call Kevin Kyle. And if you do got wood, you need new wood. Call Kevin Kyle. Up front, Nick Mills now going to take over the lead on the outside. The Sim and Destroy Factory Racing Company driver Alex McWhorter on the inside with him. Second row, Rich Swingle and Stephen Neal. All these guys taking tires on lap number 60, except Nick Mills, who took them on 54. Third row going to be Matthew Smith and Madison Foss. Miss Madison making an appearance up here in the top 10. Nick Rendo in seventh. Nick, he of the heavy front end, going to start in seventh. Joe Vulpes in eighth. Keegan Lazar, that's that 998 Adidas Toyota. And Jay-Z Bennett going to round out the top 10. Other guys we're looking at, though, Kyle Lynott right there, 10th and 11th. Wayne Newman as well on that gap. Wayne with a good run today. We've seen him get caught up in some foolishness before, but right now the Golden Octopus driver getting it done. Nick Mills, control truck on the outside, bringing it into the restart zone. McWhorter with him. Look how close Swingle gets. Away we go. Good start there by Mills, but he ain't fooling nobody. As Swingle and the 15 of McWhorter keeping it close. McWhorter did get spun around backwards, but looks like he's still running strong. Now looking down to the apron. Mills, McWhorter side by side. Outside lane has that exit speed. Here comes McWhorter, and oh, he doesn't.
Oh,
meanwhile,
man.
Look at the loose car in the back.
That was Rendo checking up in the middle of the track there. That was almost a big one. Everyone going to work around him right now. Jay-Z Bennett starting to work his way back up the front of the field. Whole new cast of characters up front for the first time today, me and Gene. So this is going to be super fun to watch, to see how these guys navigate this and how the front runners of the whole first half of the race are able to recover from where they are now.
Yeah, Nick Mills, Alex McWhorter in a battle. Here comes Matthew Smith. Smith needing a big run. That's that red 96 Chevrolet. McWhorter goes down low. Might be a mistake as the outside lane has the speed. Vulpes down there with McWhorter. Here comes Swingle, gonna go 3 wide. Behind him, look at this. Rendo gonna go 3 wide. We're 3 wide, 2 deep.
Yeah, we are 3 by 3 over here. Joseph Vulpes working the inside, looking like he has some of the freshest tires in the field right now. He's going to move up to the third place position. They're 4 wide behind them. Contact.
Here comes Kyle Lynott to keep it 4 wide.
What a move by Lynott.
Swindle gets through it, but now it's Smith, Rendo, and Lynott 3 wide. Rendo
Again.
on the middle, trying to hold his line. Doing a great job there. Lynott uses the apron to pull away. Behind him, more 3 wide with Newman, Bennett, and Neal. Newman comes up the track. Just a slight touch. Look at Owens into the back of Bennett.
This is insane back there in the backstretch, Mean Gene. And I love what our producer is smoking in the truck right now, showing us this camera angle, because we get to see all the different lines. This is my favorite thing about Auto Club, besides where it used to be proximity-wise to me. It's just there's so much room to race here, Mean Gene. Dirty air is such a big problem with these current cars, but not here, because they're just everywhere. All these lanes, and these guys are taking advantage of all of them. This is some good stuff.
Joe Volpus, Nick Mills, McWhorter, all doing battle behind them. You can see Lynott, Swingle, Matt Smith, and then a gaggle of cars all the way back to Lester.
Lynott in the wall, not too hard, but it's going to kill his momentum down the backstretch. He's going to try to throw the side draft on McWhorter, slow his momentum down a little bit. Pretty successful with a great defense there by Lynott. Lynott starting to look like one of the strongest trucks, if not the strongest, the deeper we get into this race.
Top 16 drivers, all within 1600ths of a second of each other. Look at Owens again, taking these boys 3 wide. Newman in the middle, Neal on the outside. This is amazing. There's the 37 of Smith trying to make his way around. I'm telling you, all the way back to Steve Lewis, these guys all within milliseconds of each other.
Oh, it looks like a super speedway race out here, Mean Gene, in terms of looking at the relatives and how close the field is together. Could not agree more. And there just is not a ton of places to go anymore. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of lanes, but when they're 4 wide in front of you, where are you supposed to go? Even going 5 wide. I don't know if it's possible, as Owens making contact there with the 08 on the bottom of the racetrack down the front stretch. That is not a place where you want to touch. As Owens trying to make his way through the field. He's got a whole new set of fresh incident points he can use.
Yep, Owens now hugging that apron side by side with Matthew Smith behind him. It's Louis' turn to be stuck in the middle with you. You got Newman and the 45 of Stephen Neal 3 wide. Neal using the outside lane, gets a little bit of a run. Schofield pushing him. Newman using that bottom lane, now fades. Zach Williams, Schofield and Newman 3 wide. Louis gonna look below David Owens.
Beautiful move by Steve Lewis, able to shoot the inside while keeping his momentum. Look at him drawing in even with that number 8 car or truck that was using the outside, but McWhorter almost gets tagged by the 96 right there. Keeps it straight. Unbelievable job by McWhorter. And then in front of them, there's a slow car on the racetrack.
Milliken slow. That's going to have Smith into McWhorter. And now looks, oh no, did Newman get spun as well?
Yeah, he did, Mean Gene. And we're under caution. And Wayne Newman around. That's the 3rd race in a row. Wayne Newman has been running well. And by no doing of his own, is damaged and may not have a chance even at that finish that it looks like he deserved. Let's take a look at that wreck. And I will try to find, I think Milliken, was that who you were saying was off the pace? We saw him. Yeah, there he is, Mean Gene. That is just a very damaged race truck. I don't know if it should have even been on the track in the first place, but here we go. He is going to be put 4 wide here. He's doing a really good job trying to hold the wall the best he can, not be too far off the pace and really be out the way. But like I said, Mean Gene, the way is everywhere. We are 4 wide. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist for Chris Smith here. And this is about to set off a whole chain reaction as you see David Owens get into the 15 and McWhorter. He's going to set McWhorter up into Milliken, and that's going to set off this whole thing. Try to get a better camera angle.
Matthew Smith as well, right into the rear of McWhorter. So
and Wayne Newman, what happened? Oh, he gets tagged by Steve Neal.
Yeah.
Does Wayne Newman, and this will be the significant one. Oh, dang it. So that's going to likely be it for the Oda Newman. Yep, look at that tire wobbling around, Mean Gene, or that wheel, I should say.
Yeah, that's done.
Brutal for the Oda Newman. Brutal for McWhorter there. McWhorter again. We said that it feels like the bad luck of Jared Kelly, since Kelly has not been running full time anymore, has just transferred over to Alex McWhorter.
Meanwhile, your lucky dog was Eric Gambrill, the 46, going to be back on the lead lap after that caution here on 78.
It looks pretty good. Looks better than Milliken's truck did.
Yeah, well, you know, he's been down there 6 times.
Yeah, so you'd hope so.
Yeah, Chris Morrill's been down there 7 times getting damage repaired. So a few guys making use of it. Milliken been in there 6 times, but that 17 still got a long way to go and a short time to get there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that, Mean Gene. And on top of that,
Oh, new leader.
yes, we do. It's going to be, it looks like Zach Williams is going to be leading here, and that's just by virtue of another truck staying out, doing the aggressive thing. I believe that's the 66 of, yeah, it's Mail Hot behind them, so he's going to stay out as well. So the front row is going to be occupied by old tire trucks, but not as old as I think we would assume.
They're only
Lap
about
70,
10,
yeah. So not that bad. Not that bad by any means. I don't disagree with this decision at all. If you're Zach Williams or Adam Mailhot, I would be thinking the same thing, especially with the cautions. They, you know what they breed other cautions, and we've definitely seen that be the theme of this race. There's a reality where you could get enough of those to maintain that track position and throw in some the last set of tires when everybody else does. So I like this decision, and also, Mean Gene, it puts them in front, hopefully, of where the incidents will be. So we'll see how this works out for them. Also, shout out to a lot of our drivers that are coming off penalties this week. All of them have not been ones we've been talking about. Wayne Newman was one of them just then, and we saw right there he was doing a good job checking up, and that's what ended up getting him wrecked. So what do you want to continue to shout out the drivers who are, I think, kind of driving, and you always drive a little bit nervous, right, when you come back from probation or a penalty or something like that, and doing an exceptional job so far.
Yes, sir. Could not agree more. Up front, Zach Williams gonna get him some points. Remember, Zach, one of the drivers that was in the top 12, fell out. So many people participating in this league. If you finish below 30, if you're looking at a 1-point day.
Right.
Chris Smith as well right there. Now, Chris, we saw him fade a little bit, hitting the wall. Curious to see if he's got that thing back on track again. That's that number 37 we got an eye on right there.
Let's also shout out who's currently running in 17th place, and that is Madison Foss. And that is what happened. I'm sorry, 18th. Looks like she crossed the line in 17th last time, but she'll be starting in 18th here. But that's what happens, Mean Gene, when you are able to get this deep in a race that has an attrition level like this. So proud to see also that she is immediately getting to see the fruits of her labor. What happens when you check up for wrecks and you are around this late in the race? You just get to run 17th, and she's doing a great job so far. She'll have Edward Peltz behind her for this restart.
Yeah, 29 drivers on the lead lap as well. So she's in the middle of a significant group getting ready to do battle to maybe sneak into a top 15, top 10.
Yeah, easily.
Depending on how
avoiding these wrecks.
Yeah. Up front, you can see top two guys. They last pitted on lap 70, 12 laps ago. Behind them, everybody else took it on lap 80. Zach Williams
Don't spin your tires,
into
boys.
the restart zone. 3, 2, 1, away we go. Mailhot on the outside doesn't go. Mailhot's got Lynott and Kevin Kyle and Steve Lewis right up his tailpipe. Kyle Lynott doesn't have any patience. He does not suffer fools easily. Gonna take it around the outside. Mailhot in the middle. Now that is the worst line for speed.
Yes, it is. And especially with the old tires, that's the worst line, Mean Gene. Good job on Mailhot to find an open lane right there, but he is still so off the pace.
Mailhot on the outside's got Schofield looking below him. Behind them, you can see Jaron Valley still trying to get his tires under the truck and make some forward progress. Outside lane seems to be the way to make it work early. Williams, old tires holding
Caution's
on
out,
against Vulpes.
Caution is out. Is that McWhorter again? And Ferdiani, it appears. I'll try to get us a look at this one. Oh, boy. Oh, this was another massive one. Oh, boy. I can't quite tell where this started, so I'm just going to guess, but I got it for you guys. Let's take a look. It's going to be somewhere around here, Mean Gene. I think keep your eye on the 50 of Smorl right here, and that's Sim and Destroy black and yellow race truck. I think this is where it may. So you see Gambrel in front of him, and it's a 44 of Ferdiani below them. Ferdiani on the apron, Mean Gene. Very, very loose is Ferdiani. Look at the 44. He's coming around. Uh-oh.
Danger!
Into Smorl. Oh, and McWhorter not with enough time to react. Jake Johnson's here. He's done. 0-2 done. Oh, no. Actually, the 0-2 front-end damage, but could be. I believe that's Madison Foss. Am I wrong about that? That's Madison Foss. Okay, Madison Foss. And that was not a lack of checking up, but Madison, she did not have enough time to react to that. And she got away from it quickly, so good job by her. So it looks like the big ones. Wow, look at all those dead cars or trucks. So it's Johnson, Ferdiani, McCorder, and no, I'm sorry, not Milliken. It's Smorrell, Mean Gene, are the ones involved in that. So that one, Sim and destroyed 2 Sim and Destroy race cars.
Very difficult there. We saw Ferdiani touch the apron, came back up, nowhere to go.
Oh, Jake Johnson is
Milliseconds
done.
to make decisions, and now plenty of cars parking it in the salvage yard. We're going to have to break this down for you. I'll tell you what, while we take a look down in the pit, you know what it's a good time for? It's time for a good shout out to our sponsor. Let's see what KK Woodscapes is up to.
Not Sim and Destroy, KK Woodscapes.
Here at KK Woodscapes, we only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
So yeah, that's exactly what you need, Zach. You need wood?
Always, especially Kevin's.
Well, back on the track, we've seen a few people managing to stay out there all the way down the list until about 18th. Tim Foss is in 17th. All the drivers above him all pitting on 80 or 81. And then Swingle, Williams, Eric Gambrell, Mailhot, Peltz, all coming in on 84. 25 drivers on the lead lap. Looks like Madison Fox did go a lap down to get some repair. Behind her, though, you can see the damaged Jake Johnson 2 laps down. Rayborn 3 laps down. McCorder still in the pit. Chris Morrill 3 down. Barish is 4 laps down. So all those guys in pain. So Madison did go a lap down, but I think that was probably a planned lap so that she could stay in that pit even longer and get work done to that truck, as she stayed in there for 1 minute and 59, almost 2 minutes of pit lane time.
That's a smart decision. This is a racetrack where it's highly incentivized to do that, Mean Gene. Such a long 2-mile racetrack that these pace laps take quite a while. So Madison, by not having to, try to stay in the lead lap and go back around again, she gets that extra time. She can fix that truck. And then 1 lap, who cares? She'll get that back. I think we're not done with the cautions yet.
No, and she's not battling anybody for that spot, so probably planned. All right, Joe starts really late. Joe started really late there, and that made Kevin Kyle whack him. Kyle now falls back just a little bit on that inside lane. JZ Bennett going to get ahead of him in the second row. Nick Mills in the third row on the outside, holding steady. Kyle side by side with him. Behind them, Chris Smith. Here comes Jaron Valley, his first appearance in the top 10. David Owens, and look at this. Owens has Nick Rendo all up under him.
Bennett.
And it's 3 wide up front as well.
Bennett, looks like there's some side drafting between Lynott and Volpes. It slowed them 2 down, and Bennett shoots the inside. Gonna try and make a 3-wide move for the lead. I don't think it's gonna work out here. Nick Mills looking for his space, and his teammate right behind them as well. And Nick Mills on pressure tires here, Mean Gene. So this might be Nick Mills' lead to take. As you see Kevin Kyle also rejoin the party. The cream has risen back to the top.
Look at Lynott now under attack from Nick Mills on the outside. Mills trying to push him. There's a lot of aggression all the way back through this thing. Owens has proved he's got a heavy front bumper. Rendo, heavy front bumper. Steve Lewis, heavy front bumper.
Let's combine them.
All these, well, they're all 3 together.
Let's combine them.
In 6th, 7th, and 8th.
6-7 and 6-7 going at each other right there. as you see Owens continuing his pursuit for the lead. It's been a long one here, but he has a massive run out of 4. As you see, Nick Mills going to put a massive side draft over on Kyle Lynott, looking to loop for the lead. Look at Rendo!
He's going to do it. I can't hold it. The tires are wearing out. He has to slow. Outside lane, look at Bennett. He slides in front of Bennett. Tries a little block. Bennett with a good crossover, trying to take that spot back. Rendo gonna have the advantage, though, on the outside lane. Rendo dives into the middle, trying to shorten the track and save some tire. Owens fades up, says no. Owens almost Rendo into the wall, not quite. That helps Bennett down on the inside stay in the draft of the 8. Wow, lots of fun going on. And then behind them, here comes Lewis and Jaron Valley as well. Gonna catch up. Here's Smith and Rendo.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If gap truck.
What a move by Vulpes.
Vulpes joining it. We are 3 wide right here. This is for second place as Mills laughing, looking in his rearview mirror at this absolute insanity. Owens with a great recovery here. This will be for second place if he can clear Kyle Lynott. He can't. He's going to continue to slide up. Kyle Lynott holds strong up top. What a move. They are 3 wide behind them.
Yeah, behind them, you could see Rendo holding the line. Lewis says 3 wide ain't good enough. I want 4.
Oh,
and
my
he's going to take it down on the apron. Rendo trying to push Vulpes high. Outside lane, those 2 get past. And here comes Smith as well. Matthew Smith in that red 96. No momentum for Vulpes and Rendo, fading back. Vulpes getting that push from Smith. They're going to catch up to the 37 of Matthew Smith. Wow, the 37 of Chris Smith. Chris Smith, Matthew Smith. I wonder if they're brothers. If they're from Alabama, I'd say they were.
Up front in this group, you saw Lynott take back that spot from David Owens. Owens able to complete the pass for about 1 set of corners for second place, but Lynott had something to say about it, and he has regained that position. Like I've been saying, me and Gene, that 988 is an absolute rocket ship. He is my favorite to win this race so far. I've just loved what he's been able to do, but there's just so many strong trucks around him. As you see, Owens going to look to the outside and try to make this happen again. He's going to complete the pass. We'll see if Lynott has anything to say about that through 3 and 4.
Nick Mills with a 0.4 of a second lead loves what he sees behind him. David Owens trying to make the apron work, and then you go back to Lynott, Chris Smith, Vulpes, and guess who's back in the picture? That's right, Eric Gambrell has powered that 46 back into 7th. Behind him, Rendo's tires are smoking hot. We're going to see what he can do with it. He's got to stay high. That's where you're going to make your best moves. That's what we've seen out of Rendo. Expect him to do some more. Behind him, Neal, Rendo, and Bennett 3 wide.
Rendo and Jay-Z Bennett praying that we get to that plateau point that we talk so much about, me and Gene, but I don't think it's going to be as significant as it has been in the past here at Auto Club. We just haven't seen it today. Nothing that's been interesting to me. David Owens and Nick Mills, they pit back on lap 80, the same lap, but Owens has closed up a half a second gap in 1 lap's time. Clearly a faster car or truck, and maybe it is a faster tire situation right now. We'll have to see, but David Owens looking to be the fastest on track right now.
Top 17 cars, all within 0.2 of a second of each other. This thing far from decided here on lap 94, scheduled for 110.
Gambrell is back, Mean Gene. That is Eric Gambrell, the inside of 3 wide. That truck's looking healthy, and it certainly has enough speed within it to race for a top 5 position. So don't cut out that 46, the pole sitter, yet today, and one that's looked like to have the most raw speed as he makes another error there, going a little bit too low below the apron.
Yeah, he pushes Matthew Smith up against the wall, completes the pass, tries to block Bennett. Bennett, though, with the run in the middle. Up front, exactly. Look at this. Rendo and Vulpes rekindling a high school friendship. Rendo,
oh, my goodness.
Gonna cut it up in front of Vulpes. Dirty air for Vulpes, but looks like Rendo got looser. Gambrell now gonna dive it down below the 13. Smith thinking about it. It decides better. Stays in his lane, but outside of him, here comes Tom Lester. Stephen Neal as well. Gambrell, Rendo trying to get away. Gambrell up into the front of Rendo. Rendo with a crossover. Oh, yeah, you got to love it here at Auto Club.
And then now Eric Gambrell on the inside of Rendo, and Rendo's going to want to get away from Joe Volpis after that move he just pulled. That was a short track type move, and it cost both of them a ton of time. I don't think that was worth one position at all. So now he's in the grips of Eric Gambrell, who seems to be really, really fast once again, and you have Volpis right there behind him. And like I said, there's 0% chance Volpis is happy with him at this point in this race. That was an ultra aggressive move by Rendo last time around, and there goes Gambrell. Going to shoot the inside and then maybe get a BOGO special, but I don't think he's going to have that run on the inside, Mean Gene.
Chris Smith in that Dr. Pepper 37 Chevrolet, holding off the charge of Gambrell outside lane, holding fast. Gambrell now
Big
puts
block
off Rendo.
Oh, wow.
Rendo now tries to dive down below Gambrell, holding it. Rendo diving down. He hits the 37. T-bone. Joe Volpis makes Volpis caught up with Zach Williams. Gambrell the wrong way, the 37 as well.
He went for that move again, the one that he used on Volpis. That was a bad move the first time. I would not have gone for it a second time, Mean Gene.
Wow, we saw a little bit of activity there, lots of anger from various drivers. But that's what happens, Zach, when you get 17 guys all within 0.2 of a second of each other.
Yeah, it is. That was another ugly one. Not my job to judge these wrecks. Our producer calling the shots here. Wants us to go. Let's take a look at this. Here we go. So we'll keep our eye on
What are we looking at? What's happening?
So this is the far chase cam for Eric Gambrell, which is who ultimately is going to end up getting collected in this. But it's going to be the 37 of Smith who actually is going to get, I think, the worst of this and initially hit. So you see the first block by Gambrell. That's good. There's another block by Gambrell here, Mean Gene. That is not good. I do not think Gambrell had the right to throw that block. So you know Rendo in his feelings right now. He has about 1 second to gather himself and do the right thing, and that is not the decision he chose. He's going to go for that move they went for on Volpis here. He's going to go to the inside. He's going to fill a gap that does not exist. You can see it right there. It is not big enough for a truck. He's going to pretend like it is, and he's just going to get into Smith here. Pretty incredible he was even able to get to Smith. No universe where that move was ever going to work. And then Gambrell with nowhere to go. Exactly. T-Bone City, and then you're going to see Volpis get collected in this one as well.
Look, I thought Joe was going to make it through, and then all of a sudden...
big hit for Zach Williams, too.
Yeah, Williams.
Big. And that's it for Volpis as well. Our points leader and our pole sitter. Big hit.
At least he hit him in the... At least he took it in the rear, you know.
And then Rendo goes through unscathed.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, Zach. You know, these guys... These guys can take it in the rear.
We're working on pit road now, man.
These guys can take it in the rear better than in the front.
Yeah, Volpis being one of them for sure. So Volpis also, up for good measure, going to spin on pit road to make that 13 stay better. Really colorful language being used on the radio between the drivers involved. And Rendo's going to stay out, Mean Gene. So that is an interesting choice there for the 05 of Rendo. Involved in that wreck. But he's going to stay out. Looks like he's going to... out with him will still be Foss. I believe that's Timothy Foss. Wayne Newman, recovering from that earlier wreck, surprised that truck was able to be repaired. So happy for Wayne Newman there. Adam Mailhot again in the 66 will be in fourth, and then David Owens, who is looking like he had a real chance to win this thing, will be starting fifth place.
Top two trucks last pitted on lap number 80. We're on lap number 98. Next two trucks pitted on 84, and then after that, people that just pitted. Top one is David Owens. Owens right now in fifth on 4 fresh tires. Outside of him on road 3, Nick Mills, also lap 98. Lanat, pitted on 98, is in 7th. Madison Foss moves up into 8th.
Wow.
But she last took tires on 84. So she's going to have her work cut out for her. Luckily, she's on that top lane. I think if she can just ride that rail, play a little defense, now's the time with only 10 to go, Zach. This would be a good time for her to just hold her line, ride the rail. If they pass her down below, good for them. But she should be able to hold that momentum on those tires. They're 16 laps into this run. There's been a couple of cautions, so I think Foss in a decent position on the outside. Inside of her, Matthew Smith, he's that red 96. We've seen him threatening all day long to move up front, and now he's on new tires, has that shot. Jay-Z Bennett, Rich Swingle, 10 and 11. We saw Swingle run fast early. He's in that gold 97. He's just going to need a little bit of luck to make it through the traffic. Everybody pretty much on the same situation of tires getting ready to go for that win.
I agree, Manjin. This is going to be a fun shootout here. We'll see if we're able to make it to the white flag to make this thing official.
All right, little bit of confusion right now. We're going green. Madison Fossman ahead of the group. I thought she was on the same lap as them.
She was not.
So she's being shown as the leader, but let's take it back and look at the group. Nick Rendo is in front of this group. Behind him, you can see. Oh, and look, fading the wrong way. Newman going backwards. Going to be a 4 wide with the Simmons Destroy.
Here we go,
Newman touches. There goes Swingle.
Oh, Simmons destroying that one. Got a big wreck.
Don't need nothing but a good time.
Man, I was curious to see what happened with Foss there.
Look at Valley still doing donuts. Oh, that front right looks weird.
Yeah, that was an ugly one, man. Jane, I'll take a look at this one. Looks like it starts with Swingle Brenner. Maybe a little bit in front of them, actually. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, boy, they are 4 or 5 wide up there. That's asking for trouble, am I right?
Yeah.
And there it is. Yeah, Kevin Kyle into Mail Hot. You said Mail Hot was one of the slower cars in those older tires. Wayne Newman, Richard Swingle. Oh, boy. And that's Nick Mills. 3 Sim Destroy cars in this one. There's the 01. Wow. Ugly one.
So a little bit of insanity there. Nick Rendo is your leader. David Owens is right with him. Kyle Lynott and Matthew Smith going to be 3rd and 4th. Tim Foss moving into the 5th position in his Firewater Tire Solution 67 Ford. J.C. Bennett in 6th. Brenner. We have a David Brenner appearance up into 7th.
Yeah, Brenner really just a staple of attrition in this one, is he not? We'll go to Joe real quick over in the pits. Joe, where do you think you can finish just by having a healthy race truck right now?
On the lead lap would be beneficial. There's 24 of them on the lead lap right now.
That's more than I expected.
Healthy truck, though. I mean, most of these trucks are fairly all right for the most part. I think the 01's got a little worse for wear. Madison Foss should be all right truck-wise. Swingle, I don't think that truck's okay. So I think we're probably looking at like a top 20 right now if your truck is in a decent shape.
So basically, guaranteed points. We've talked about how valuable those can be with these field sizes, Mean Gene. So a big opportunity for a lot of these drivers here.
You know what? Speaking of opportunities, I think this is a great opportunity to give a shout out to one of our sponsors. Let's see what we can do for Sim and Destroy Racing Company. Sim and Destroy Racing Company, Kevin Kyle's latest endeavor here on the iRacing Network. 3 different shirts, the Goldie of my favorite with the gold tooth, bottom row diamonds, and all in gold. Gentlemen never lift. This is a standard for the Sim and Destroy Racing Factory driver. And burning rubber, not bridges. as we can see Sim and Destroy here in full effect on today's track. Nick Mills, Jaron Valley, and Kevin Kyle putting on a show
Morrow.
at Auto Club.
And Chris Morrow.
Yeah, Chris Morrow running it. I don't think he's official, but he's got a beautiful, beautiful car out there today. Sim and Destroy, our latest merch venture. Give him a check it out. Also, one of the major sponsors of the Drive for 500 coming up here on February 14th, live on the Vortex Racing Network.
Yeah, can't wait for that. Me and Gene, going to be a fun day of super speedway racing under the sun in Daytona in the morning of Valentine's Day to make sure all our wives and girlfriends are thrilled with us on that day. And then, speaking of being thrilled with one another, man, we got Kyle Lynott, David Owens, and Rendo running in the podium positions on this restart, which is likely the last one we have until it's overtime territory if we're not there already, me and Gene. So we'll see what these drivers are able to do here as these laps are ticking off.
Look at Matthew Smith. He does not want to grid up. He's on the outside. He's trying to avoid it. He's like, look, y'all just do what you're going to do, man.
Can I just take an EOL and keep my position or something?
Yeah, I don't need what's going to happen up here. So Rendo Owens front row, Lynott and Matthew Smith on the second row. Tim Foss, JZ Bennett. You can see Foss is on the high side, needs to get down to the bottom.
Rendo and Owens, Mean Gene, they're way close. Look at this.
There we go. Why not? Rendo's just give him a little rub.
This is going to be an ugly restart. It's going to be an ugly restart, my friend.
No, it'll be fine, dude. Look, he's tugging his seatbelts and he's rubbing Owens. It's a little rub and tug. Getting ready. Here we go. Pace car is out of the way. Nick Rendo is your control car rolling into the restart zone. Away we go. He guns it at the 1/3 mark of the restart zone. Does spin his tires. Takes it low. Back up high. Rendo in control with the preferred lane. Rendo thinking about the outside. Meanwhile, Owens and Lynott side by side. Matthew Smith, JZ Bennett, top 5 with the breakaway. 2 groups now clear. Rendo off of pace. Gets split down the middle, almost makes contact.
Caution's out, Mean Gene.
Oh, Scary.
We'll see if that came out in time for Rendo. But Valley with some major damage.
Oh, no.
Rendo, I think, may be our leader still. I don't know. That caution, when it happened on track, may have been early enough. Here you guys go if you want to take a look. This is another massive one. I mean, the speeds here at Auto Club create some pretty ugly wrecks, and this will be another one. There it is.
Oh, go back. I got to see that again.
Yeah, something to do with the 6 there of Lester with the initial hit there. I'll take a look at that. Oh, boy.
Oh, I don't know. That truck's coming down.
Yep, and then straight into 998.
Yeah, it looks like I don't know. I mean, maybe Lazar came down in front of him.
No, I think he did as well. And then wrong place, wrong time for the 45.
Yeah, Neil's like, why me?
Yep, and very much so as well.
Oh, Ferdiani again. Oh, Paul.
Oh, and Gambrill again too. Gambrill gets collected, and that's gonna likely be it for the 46. Mercifully, I should say. But wow, another big one early in that run, and according to our running results right now, Mean Gene, top left, that did come out early enough to give Rendo the lead, which that with his tire difference, which is a full 18 laps, looked absolutely hopeless.
Yeah, Nick Rendo gets I mean, this is it, right? We're on lap 108. I think we're going to get
we're going overtime.
Yeah, we're going to get an overtime. There goes Rich Swingle. Looks like he's going to be the recipient of that lucky dog that will put him back on the lead lap. So Swingle excited. He'll be into 19th and an opportunity to move forward. Meanwhile, Vulpes and Neil still in the pits with the sad face.
Yeah, they are. Joe appears Smoking Joe appears to think that 13 is okay. Yeah, it looks actually better than it did for the Rex, though. So, all the optional damage has been fixed on that truck, so it is a healthy one. I'm not sure if 2 laps will be enough time, but you never know with what we've seen. We do have 3 overtime restarts available to us. But we saw right there, too, Rendo, what he did learn in that restart, Mean Gene, is just how much of a disadvantage that he's at with those tires to the rest of the field. He's going to have to do something pretty crazy to keep that lead, and I think we've seen how capable he is of that so far in this race.
Well, I think what we need to see out of Rendo is exactly what we said about Madison a little bit earlier. Start on the outside, hold your lane.
Yeah, me too.
If they pass you on the inside, they pass you. Don't try to block. Don't be swerving. You're just going to hurt your tires. Hold the line, go as fast as you can, and just take what happens at the end of the day. I still see Rendo down on the bottom trying to push the dang pace car faster. Don't think that's the line for him. I'm waiting for him to go up high. If he starts on the inside, I'm just going to shake my head.
Yeah, and I think he's going to do exactly that, Mean Gene. I think he's going to choose the inside, which gets me nervous for this restart for the rest of the drivers behind him, because I fully agree with you. I think the outside was the move there. I think you may have gotten past, but at the very least, you would have had a run to protect your position. I think a top 5 would have been very possible. I think with the inside, we were seeing what was going to happen to him. He was getting taken 3 wide. I think he was going to come out of 2, likely outside the top 5 already. So we'll see here.
Yeah, and I mean, and what's the thing that happens is you won't be able to hold your speed. You'll truck up you'll plow up the track a little bit, and then look who's going to be directly behind you. A very forgiving, gentle, kind man who's not going to think about the 4 times you've slide chopped and doored his teammates.
No.
So, it'll be easy to forget. You'll be fine. Lynott will be clear of all of that, and poor Matthew Smith is going to be watching it come toward him like the Titanic approaching an iceberg.
Exactly. I feel bad for Matthew Smith right now. He's thinking, oh, man, I'm running well. Please don't ruin this for me, guys. But, oh, boy, he's about to be around a bunch of pretty
angry Hornets.
Yep, angry Hornets indeed, Mean Gene.
Yeah.
None of these guys happy with one another, so here we go.
You seen the trick where you get a cup and you fill it with gasoline and then you put the cup on the hornet's nest?
Yep.
Yeah, that's this. That's this without the cup or the gasoline. Here we go, getting it up. Away we go. Good jump there by the 05. He brings David Owens with him. Kyle Lynott fades back into 3rd. Rendo slowly getting up into the preferred lane. Rendo did what he needed to do, needs to stay high. Owens going to be a little bit higher than Rendo to avoid the dirty air. Good run of Owens. He's going to pinch Rendo down on the apron. Now, Owens and Lynott making the outside work. Here comes Matthew Smith as well on the outside. Eating him alive. Rendo fading backwards. 3 wide. Bennett below him. Matthew Smith still there. David Brenner now side by side with Rendo. Owens taking over the lead. Rendo's fading even more. Now finds himself back farther.
Kyle Lynott has 1 lap to make this happen. I've talked so much about how fast I think that 988 is, but the only other truck that's had something for him has been David Owens. He's got 4 corners that make something happen. He looks like he has the speed to do it, Mean Gene. We'll see. Here we go. 1 to go.
Lots of battling going on up front. We need to see if Lynott has the speed. Back, Rendo still fading. I think his day is over as he's now in the clutches of Nick Mills and Steve Lewis. And look at Joe Volpus making his way up to 12th on them brand new tires. Meanwhile, Lynott trying to catch David Owens. Lynott into the wall. That's going to slow his momentum. David Owens with a 0.4 of a second lead has to be thrilled. That's all she wrote. Congratulations, David Owens taking the win here today at Auto Club. Joining him on the podium, Gulf Coast teammate Kyle Lynott, and coming home in 3rd, Matthew Smith. We said Matt Smith needed a big day to get back in the playoff picture, Zach. 3rd place, you got to be thrilled for the number 96 Chevrolet.
Yeah, what a great drive by Matt Smith. Really deserved that one, too. He had to put up with some treacherous restarts at the end of that race, and he held tough. Gets a great finish, a podium finish here in the BRL. That's going to be big for his pursuit at a playoff spot and continue on a good season for that 96. And also good recoveries from other drivers involved in earlier incidents. You see David Brenner going to finish at 4th place, Kevin Kyle in 6th, Matt Schofield 7th. So some really good finishes. Even Nick Mills able to muster up in 8th place. Good job by him. And then Tim Foss with what I believe is his first top 10 of the season.
Nice run there by the 6'7" Ford of Tim Foss. Also notables, Joe Volpus going to come home in 9th. You're right. Look at Schofield, got himself up into 7th place as well. 11th going to be Lewis. Eddie Peltz coming home in 12th. Rich Swingle, 13. Madison Foss, her best finish of the year, comes home 14th. Adam Mailhot, 15th. The rookie Lazar going to be in 16th. Wayne Newman, lots of issues for him the last third of the race. Newman, though, finishing 17. Stephen Neal, 18. Nick Rendo fading all the way back to 19th. I'm hearing it from the officials. Incident points also fading him back. And the gambler, Paul Ferdiani, going to take it home in 20th. Ooh, look at Valley in 24th. That's not going to help the second place points stander.
No, it's not, man, Gene. And you can see also a lot of really, really quick drivers. Like you just said, Eric Gamble, our pole sitter, he'll end up 4 laps down in 23rd. Jeff Pfeiffer, we saw him running out front earlier on in this race. He will end up 81 laps down all the way back in 34th. So unfortunate for Pfeiffer, who looks so strong. Same goes for the ones who finished in front of him, Darby, McCorder, and Smorrell. So rough day for a lot of quick drivers in this league today.
A little bit of movement in the playoff picture following that finish. Again, BRL officials will be reviewing all of the incidents. A tightening of the reins to solidify the integrity of the league going on over the last few weeks. You got to expect a little more of that. So here we go. Again, halfway point, Zach. Joe Vulpes continuing his lead, now 43 points over David Owens. Owens jumping up 1 spot into that 2nd place. Kevin Kyle moving up 2 spots as Valley falls down to 4th with that painful finish here today. Nick Mills up 1. David Brenner jumping up 2. Zach Engel gonna drop 4 spots there as he did not run here today. Jay-Z Bennett, Matthew Smith jumping up 5 on the power of that 3rd place finish. Matt Schofield as well, come home 7th today, jumps up 7 spots. Gambrel, Novella, and Novella tied with Eddie Peltz. And you know what we say about tiebreakers, Zach?
Everybody goes. That's pretty crazy. Already seen that, and it's Eddie Peltz. Gotta love that. Peltz able to muster another good finish here today. I don't think Novella was in the field here today with us, so Peltz making the most of that. And right now, yeah, he would be tied with Novella, and we would have another +1 in the playoff field, which no one's complaining about.
No, and it's so tight as well. You sit there and you look at that. Those 2 guys, Peltz and Novella, 102 points. Gambrel only 1 ahead of them. Schofield only 4 ahead of them. And then directly behind them, McWhorter 4 short of that 12th place position. Jake Johnson only 6 short. And Paul Ferdiani only 10. And with these big fields, I mean, look what happens to like AJ Binish. That guy is still trying to overcome the 27th, the 30th place finishes. And that's basically, yeah, that's like not showing up. You're getting 1 point. AJ does drop 2 spots down into 21st. So Binish gonna really have his work cut out for him, missing another race here today.
Yeah, because it's just as bad as being like not showing up is not showing up. So Banesh, oh boy, he's going to have his work very much cut out for him, managing that gap all the way up to 30+ points. He's going to need, I think, a win and then a big pocket full of top 5s for our defending champion to even have a chance to defend it in those playoffs. Up top again, though, you see drivers like Kevin Kyle really starting to show that staple of consistency and what that can do for you. He also is enjoying a really nice points gap down to the cut line, +40 right now. So Kevin Kyle really has that kind of buffer race right now. And another thing that this did not do for the league too much, it did create a tiny bit of separation, but granted that we do have that tiebreaker on that 12, so that will break immediately when we go to that next race. But on top of that, still not a ton of separation below that cut line. Still very, very close there, down to about, you can say 20th, I would say, if Stephen Neal can just about make something happen in one race.
Yeah, that's the joy of these big fields is you can see the ability for them to just jump up and down and get close. The one thing though you have to start thinking about realistically is Jay-Z Bennett as a rookie of the year,
Yeah.
eighth in points and just seems to continue to have those top 10 finishes, making it very difficult for the rest of the rookies that are trying to chase him down. Just taking a peek at that rookie of the year standing behind Bennett is Austin Rayburn. You can see him down in tied for 16th place. Ryan Newman. Ryan, of course, with the suspension, didn't run today. And then farther down, I mean, 58 points back would be Harold Ralph, who hasn't run in 2 races. Tom Barish, Zach Clausen hasn't run in a few with his work schedule. Tim Foss going to get some points here today, so that'll bump him up at least ahead of Clausen. But again, the ability to move so quickly up and down, and with Rayburn, with Jay-Z Bennett's consistent finishes, you have to start thinking that perhaps that double aught is starting to put nails in coffins as far as taking home the that lovely KK Woodscape trophy.
I agree with that, Mangine. I think in the beginning of the season, too, we saw Jay-Z Bennett running into a lot of early race issues while running up front, right? We'd often see him caught up in something while running in the top 5. In the past few weeks, that has not been the case, and Bennett's starting to get some of those finishes that are far more indicative of where he runs. And with that said, that still is giving him a big gap, and if he can continue to stack those up that we know he's capable of, I do think that gap will only widen. Jay-Z Bennett looking to be in a class of his own when it comes to the rookies this season, which is not taking anything away from any of the other rookies in this league. It just goes to show how impressive Bennett has been.
Yeah, I mean, you think about Bennett, he's been running cup cars, and the cup car is much more difficult to drive, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so you take him out of the cup car, you put him in the truck, and with the amount of hours that he's had in the seat, not a real rookie. That would be like going to the cup level and taking, I don't know, Amigo. Taking Amigo, I'm gonna pick a realistic one. If you took Amigo and you put Suarez into the Xfinity and say, it's his rookie year, let's see what he does.
True. Last time Suarez was there, he won the championship.
So
that's a great point.
Yeah, he's immediately gonna be up there. As far as like trucks and cup go, they're on equal footing here in the Bonfire Race League. They're the only difference between the cup and the truck is just the vehicle and what night of the week we're running. But the ability of Bennett and just dealing with that more difficult car, that's not saying anything about the fields. I'm just pointing out how much more difficult that car is to drive. And hey, since we're talking about other cars, let's talk about other leagues as well. Here on the Vortex Racing Network, we are blessed to be able to carry not 1, not 2, but 3, but 4 different series and 4 leagues and multiple series. Monday night, of course, is going to be our doubleheader soon to start. Of course, Monday Night Mayhem is in the middle of their season. Race 3 just took place. Can't wait to see as we move forward. We've seen multiple winners in all 3 races, so a lot of parity there. DDI ARCA series scheduled to start in 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how exhibitions run. That'll give us that live doubleheader that we love to see. Alex Hillman is the broadcaster for DDI ARCA, and yours truly, Mean Gene Money, along with Zach Panzarella, bringing you Monday Night Mayhem for the 3rd season in a row. Tuesdays, you just watched the Dennis Puckett Big Trucking Tuesday series. Lovely racing, great fields. Rebroadcast is what you just watched, but it was live for us. And then Wednesday, we are ready for the premiere of the opener, Daytona 57 trucks doing battle. What time are we going to kick that thing off?
think we're planning on 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So for me on the West Coast, or all those in the West Coast, that's 7:30 for us. But yeah, that was something, Mean Gene. There was 57 of us, and we thought, you know, F it, what if? And we did it, and it went, I will say this, far better than I think any of us could have imagined. So that was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to show you guys off what to expect from that league. It won't be 57 all the time. We're going to the Rock next in that league. We'll be cutting down the field to only 40, with a B main being talked about potentially for those who do not make the main event. So points potentially be available on that, but at the very least, an opportunity to drive in a highlight package that we can show off during those broadcasts as well.
Yeah, it's so difficult when you have that many talented drivers show up. How do you narrow that field down? I know there was a lot of different discussions about provisionals, charters, so much going into
Everything
it.
you think of.
The work behind the scenes, the meetings, the hours spent by the officials to make this the most enjoyable experience possible for the drivers is being put into that. There's gonna be growing pains when you're trying to put 57 people on a track. So thank you to the drivers also, as this thing developing in front of us, moving forward, to make the best product possible for you, the viewer, but also the drivers on the track. Thursday night's Quantum Contender Series, headed by Kevin Kyle, coming soon to a Vortex near you. And we wrap up the week Sunday, the Bonfire Premier Cup Series. They're heading into the final stretch. Las Vegas is going to be on Sunday before the championship race. Come watch the final season of Jason Landry. 8 wins on the year. Can he score double-digit wins before the end of the year? There's one way to find out. You're going to have to pay attention. Tune into the Vortex Racing Network. How do you do that? You subscribe. Smash that subscribe. Like it when you see it up there, and share it with your friends, because we are trying to grow this network for you and for us. One of the ways we do it, Zach, how about those special events?
Yeah, the drive for 500 coming up. It's going to be on Valentine's Day. You heard us talk a little bit about it earlier on this broadcast, but we'll be bringing the best of all these leagues you see here to Daytona for a full-length 500-mile race. That one's going to have some amazing prizes available from all the sponsors you see on this graphic here, all on the corners, as well as Daily Drivers Inc. A few other companies, KK Woodscapes will be giving away some gift cards and trophies, and a custom trophy for the winner of that race. It'll be live here on VRN, and it's going to be one of our first special event races, I should say. So very excited about that. To put together that group of drivers will be a lot of fun, and we're gonna have a great booth and a great product on track.
Yeah, and you're gonna see some all-stars involved in that race. You're gonna see MRL speed demons like Jordan Fisher, Colin Bollinger, Sean Walton. You're gonna see some of the Bonfire all-stars as well making an appearance, like you're going to see Nick Mills out on that track. You're going to see Brandon Shelton, Justin Malarkey. And then you're also going to have the opportunity to see some of the DDIRL experts on that track as well. Did you get Backpack involved yet? Have you convinced those boys to jump on board?
The offer has been sent, and I think we'll have at least a handful of them. I mean, obviously, love to have the trio of Brandon Ibarra, Brandon Lolis, and Danny Sanchez. 3 unbelievable drivers that have just really made or helped to make DDRL what it is in the league, that was able to earn enough credibility to combine on Wednesdays with MRL. So excited about that. You'll also have me, yours truly, Zapian Zarella. Patrick Cowgill will likely be representing DDRL and VRN as well up there. And I'd expect to see Dalton Geyer, a past Daytona 500 winner, in that field as well.
Yep, so that's going to be 11 o'clock Eastern, February 14th, full-length Daytona, as we prepare for the actual NASCAR season to begin, watching Joey Logano's quest for his 4th championship. Yep. And there'll be other drivers there as well. But all of this is for us to try to get to 500, get those viewers, moving it up. Again, amazing trophy going to be presented from KK Woodscapes to the winner. Also, there will be other prizes, as Zach said, awarded. You got to make halfway through the race, and then you'll be eligible for a $50 gift card for Team Conti driving lessons, a voucher for KK Woodscape trophies, merch from Animal House Customs, die-cast and merch from Daily Drivers Inc. You're going to get a paint job from It's Your Boy Plant Designs, and also a rebroadcast of a race of your choosing by yours truly, Mean Gene Money and Kevin Kyle. So much going on. Get involved now. Sign up. Become a part of this. It will be broadcast live. There will be a race control dedicated to keep this thing clean and fun. Join in now. That's the Drive for 500, 11 o'clock Eastern on February 14th. Zach, I think we got about all of it. Final thoughts before we head out?
Yeah, I just want to give a lot of credit to the league. Especially, I don't have a ton of positive to say about what we saw happen up front a few times today, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm sure the league will cover that themselves as they showed us.
What a different, like before.
Completely reversed.
We're talking about the back of the field, and today you're talking about the front of the field.
Right? So I'm not going to even mention those dudes because I did not like what I saw from them. From the first times was like, oh, I would not want to be out there right now. But the back of the field, actually, I shouldn't say the back of the field because a lot of those people that we were criticizing last week got their best finish. I think they all did, got their best finishes of the season today. I know the Fosses both finished in 10th and 14th. Wonderful drives by both of them, and they earned it because they didn't make a mistake all day. They were never in the way of anybody. They were just failing to check up when they needed to in wrecks, and they drove responsible today. They took what Peltz took seriously. So I want to give a big shout out to them, and it's not just them. There were other drivers out here as well doing a great exemplary job. Wayne Newman as well, another one I want to shout out. But great job by all those drivers, and a big shout out to Edward Peltz for working with them and really showing how quick that he can help them make progress and how special of a driver he is. But that's a great sign of things to come, Mean Gene. There will be a day where it all combines beautifully, and from front to back, we'll have some really good racing because we are about 99% of the way there. And I would say that the part that was the hardest to fix has been fixed in my eyes. So shout out to the league. They deserve a ton of credit for that.
Exemplary. 5 syllables. Jeez.
You said it in your first freaking try.
My word. I know. What about it over there, Smoking Joe? You got any 6-syllable words for us?
Nap time.
Never said
Nap time.
Nope.
That's 7 letters. So you know what? Yeah, he wins. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here today. This was Auto Club brought to you by George Jewell. Thank you so much, George, for your sponsorship. If you're watching this race, George, we miss you, brother. Come on back. Get back in the car. Yeah.
Seriously though, please.
Yeah, man. We miss you. We love you. And come on back and let's have a good time. On behalf of myself, Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, Smoking Joe, it's been our pleasure to bring you this race. Want to thank all of our sponsors, George Jewell, KK Woodscapes, Sim and Destroy Racing Company for the pole award today. Of course, Gambrel taking the pole. Good for him, as that is, I believe, his second of the year. Want to thank our admins as well for all they do, putting these things together to keep this league moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you Friday. And until then, bottoms up and hammer down.